Hello, 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 hello. I saw that. What I do, Donnie? I did not. I changed that title like about an hour ago, man. What do you mean now? No, that shit was changed an hour ago, buddy. I don't know if it's because you happen to stay on at this particular time that's why it's taking a while. But nah, we're good now. I think we're good. Ooh, new pictures here to retweet and like. All right. There we go. Sweet. I just went to Twitter for like a second, just saw brand new artwork, and I'm like, all right, let me just like that real quick. Hello, everybody. Hope everyone's having a good day, good afternoon, good evening. As you guys already know, my name is KG Prestige, and welcome once again, one and all, to another exciting edition of the PokePod World Podcast, where me and my pals gather around to go and talk about the latest things that have been going on within the past week, and of course, the big announcement. Or, well, not really a big announcement. It's more so something really cool that I thought was awesome to kind of discuss. And we're obviously going to be talking about, without a doubt, the big thing, the Ash, Go, and Gary picture. No, I'm just kidding. We're talking about that Iris episode, of course, 100%. Of course, it's always going to be about that episode, man. But yeah, everybody's talking about Maid Day. Didn't you guys know? It is Maid Day, ladies and gentlemen. So if you have a favorite wife who probably got dressed up as a maid for today, I know some of my faves did out there, especially one for Dragalia, which was nice to see. I got the chance to see some Dragalia representation going on with some maid outfits there. But hopefully everybody had a good day so far. I know it is Monday. It's everybody's favorite day of the week, without a shadow of a doubt. And yeah, we gotta talk about quite a lot for tonight. So yeah, listen, you gotta not be surprised with anything anymore, High Prof. Every day there's always something new. I think there was like a day where it was called National Nothing Day. So at this point, if nothing can be a day, a maid theme day could happen at this point, man. So literally anything can go at this point. You just accept that it is and embrace all the waifu pics out there, or husbando pics. I'm not going to judge. I've seen some husbandos out there with maid outfits. Still questionable, but I still did see them. So yeah, that was a thing. Hey there, buddy. I think I heard somebody enter the call.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you're okay there, buddy?
Yeah, of course. You got
Uh,
you got to remember you got to remember that I can freaking imitate voices too.
Okay. Oh, I think I see somebody over there in the other hub. He's going to be hopping in with us, I believe. Uh,
Woo!
yeah, so we're going to have a lot of opinions for tonight, TSS. This is going to be a very, very beefy
Oh
session for
yeah.
tonight.
Also, can I just make one statement about the anime in general before we do anything else, because this really has no fucking merit to anything, but I want to talk about it anyway.
All right. Should we
I forgot.
should we bring the
Yeah.
person in first, or
Yeah. Let's go ahead and do it.
all right? Yeah, let's go and invite the person in.
Yeah.
We'll
So
talk with you in just a minute. And TSS, get what you got to say, buddy.
Okay, so remember that this program strives for accuracy, and we nitpick and notice every fucking little thing. I forgot to mention that last week on the credits, because I'm the only fucking person to watch the damn credits, because Shiritori is an ending that not a lot of people like. The one of the video production companies, Imagica, changed their logo last week.
Huh.
It used to be like an oval that looked like with the Magical letters next to it, and it looked like kind of like like a little candle or something. And now they changed the typeface to a more professional looking font with I think it says like entertainment media underneath. So the Imagica logo in the credits have changed from last week onwards.
Oh, so now from this point onward, we're going to be seeing the new design moving forward, and that's
Yes.
pretty cool. A little bit of revamp never hurts anybody, I guess.
Yay.
All right.
That's why I wanted to say it now, because it's really irrelevant, and that it would have been very bizarre if I had to bring it up during my piece.
Yeah, if everybody was like talking about like these insane beats, and you're over here like, well, in case you guys didn't know, a logo got updated, and it just completely puts the whole mood in such a weird position. But nah, thanks TSS for bringing that up right now, though. It'll help us moving forward, at least, to kind of pay attention, as long as nobody decides to hit that skip button, because it seems everybody really, really is not enjoying that song. I mean, people probably did at first, but then after 60 episodes, I think people are starting to get weirded out by it. I'm still saying the instrumental version of this song is the best part, though.
The full version is the best part because you got to have the middle eight because without
Oh
the
my
middle eight,
god, that middle section is so good. That middle
yeah.
section saved the piece, honestly.
Well,
But I,
Evo, technically, I mean, yeah, it does beat it, but the thing is, though, it still is different. It still is different because it's alternating. We haven't really had any endings that were alternating like that, not for a very long time. Because usually what they would do is they would air air the first variation followed by the second one, and maybe they go to the second the back to the first one. They did that with like Smile, because there was some weirdness where it was like they went uh they went from version 1 to that, and then back to version 1 and version 2. It was very weird.
yeah, it
But
shuffled around.
well, X, Y, and Z alternate endings. Those are completely different songs. This is the first time in a long time where one song had an alternate variation go back to back, weekly like this.
Non-stop. And also, you got to remember, with X, Y, and Z, there was only like 47 episodes or something like that. So
Yeah, and
it's at a
also
much
like,
shorter count than what we're in right now with Journeys, anyway.
yeah,
But
I
yeah,
remember
so
they would. Yeah, so go ahead.
oh no, I was just gonna just check here real quick, make sure everything is okay. Okay, everything's good. Sorry to interrupt, buddy. What you gotta say?
No, I'm about to say the thing was the whole thing with the X, Y, and Z's was to promote the Image album. That was it. That's why they had all of them on rotation. Although Iwane has said that the Rocket Gang song should have had more episodes.
Yeah, I think even the director at one point when it was being highlighted in the ending montage when AnyPoke Twitter was posting all these ending songs, he
Yeah,
even said that he was disappointed to just see it only play for one episode. And that is true. It
yeah.
is unfortunate it only played. I also love how cheap that ending looked. It just fits Team Rocket to a T with that because they are cheap. So I appreciate the butcherness of that visual effect. But still, regardless, though, great song. Deserved more love. But I guess before we continue on any further into announcements, games, talks, and all that shenanigans, let's go and take a second to introduce one of our guests for tonight because we're going to be. I don't know why. I get the feeling we're going to be having a very diverse set of opinions for tonight's session. So let's go and say
Sure.
hello to our guest of the week. Say hello there, buddy.
What's up, everybody? I'm here to. Well, whenever we get there, I'm here to shit on Pokemon Journeys.
Damn. Damn, man. I didn't think you were going to be so blunt about that. Jesus Christ.
And this is why you're not the fourth Antipug, bro.
Damn, yeah. Well, we don't
But
even know. He's the nomad at this point, man.
Today, I'm the ninth PokePod member.
I don't even know how many pod members we got at this point, man. I'm trying to
No,
count, and
I'm-
I think we got like
yeah.
we're like the fucking NWO at this point.
yeah. Every time we always a new season always
KG's
comes in. New rotation of characters always have to come in every now and then.
Yeah, the only thing is though, we are fucking NWO Hollywood and Ion is in NWO B team.
I'm the,
The
Antipoke
BT.
nomad, as KG said.
or maybe fucking NWO 2000.
I've been on the PokePod. I've been on Ben's channel for the reaction. I've been on Zach's channel. I've been on the Poke Chat. I've been on the Poke Comrades. I've been everywhere. I'm the Antipoke nomad.
Yeah, you're
I've
just
been
here
everywhere,
for.
man. I've been everywhere. Yeah, freaking Johnny Cash ass, man.
But first of all, glad to have you around, buddy. We're gonna get
Yeah.
into those review segments soon, so stay tuned for that. Obviously, we always
Yeah.
tend to just kind of joke around for the first hour, but I get the feeling that we probably cannot do that for tonight's session, given that if we're gonna have a larger cast for tonight, presumably anyway. We might want to take more focus into the review for the episode in itself and break down a lot of things because there was a lot of stuff to kind of discuss, not only for the episode in itself, but for the fact that is the future events that are set to come, as well as the
Yeah.
the image that kind of revitalized the Ash and Gary relationship to just a whole new level of amazingness. And first of all, I just gotta say,
Basically, basically back to talking about the BL women in book off again. That's basically what's gonna happen.
and I love every single bit of it, man. I gotta go find that magazine image again because I had it with me, and then I go online and then I see it's
on
gone.
it's on the image board. I'll get it.
All right, man. If you can kindly do that for me, that would be greatly appreciated. But yeah, so I think the first thing we should obviously talk about is some anime, and I don't feel like talking about the Pokemon anime just yet. That's gonna be saved for a little later. I want to take a second to appreciate other anime from this past week that I kind of wanted to talk about. Specifically, the one I talked about pretty much almost every single goddamn week, and every single week it just keeps getting better and better. I'm just so mad that I just keep acknowledging the fact that I didn't watch this shit when it came out, that it got me so invested into reading the manga. I'm talking about Irumakun, man. Holy shit. DSS, I don't know if you watched the latest episode.
I have not watched the latest one.
Oh
but
my god, man. But wait, have you read the manga though?
No, I have not.
Oh man, okay, so I'm not gonna spoil anything really in regards to like what happened in the recent episode, but bro, I was like, I was just screaming from the top of my lungs, yes, when that one moment came to be. Now I do have to ask though, did you watch the week before?
Yes.
Where we got the reveal of that one character with the most annoying as hell song I think I've ever heard, and it just fits his character to just an absolute.
Yeah, he's a Spanish. It's a Spanish guy.
Yeah, he's a Spanish dude, but he's like singing all in Japanese, and the way the way he says it has like this weird style to it. But I think what I love about it is like he has like this echo to his voice. So whenever he says something, there's like a slight version.
Well, it's him. It's him doing the echo. So it's a self echo.
Yeah, I just love that shit. It's so great. But man, I wish I could talk about the recent episode because I'm gonna say right now, boy, I'm in that 100% with what they're doing. So I want to admit though, I got so into it, I had to read the chapters and catch myself up to where we are currently at, because after the events of what happened in this week's episode, I needed to know where the story was gonna go next, and then I accidentally read the next arc. I accidentally read what's gonna be coming up, and bro, I'm just gonna say right now, I am so goddamn excited for what's about to come with Irumakun. Oh my god. I'll just give a little hint. It has everything to do with the ending of season 1, man. If you've seen the ending of season 1, you know what you're going to get into. You know they were going to bring this up at some point. I'm going to say this right now. I read that arc, bro. That is probably one of the best arcs I've read in the series, man. It is just so goddamn good, and I cannot wait for when those episodes come out. I hope they do that arc justice, man. I hate that I read it, though. I had to pause myself after I read that arc, though. I couldn't go any further. I just couldn't. I needed to keep myself contained, man. But, man, it was just... It's just so fun when you get a chance to finally not only watch something that you enjoy, but then find out that when you want to read the manga, you discover that it isn't simply like 100 chapters that are out right now. No, there are 204 chapters out right now translated. And I was like, I'm going to be binging this all night at this point, because given 200 chapters...
Yes. Donnie, thank you for plugging one of my latest unaltered footage videos. That is better off dead from Wembley 12/14/85. So, especially at the chorus when the drums and the bass kicks in, it's fucking perfect. Couldn't have done any better than that. Also, the lyrics are pretty good as well. But also the one that I did with Nagatoro-san, which is the next post of mine. Yeah. That right there, that perfectly describes what Nagatoro-san's doing with Senpai, and it was like that. It was like a perfect mishmash of things. So it's like I said, if you like the stuff that I do. You know that's my contribution for the April to the spring 2021 anime season. It needed to be done, and that's what it is.
Yeah, man. First of all, I always love those unaltered edits. It just makes you wonder How do they fit so well sometimes?
Well, it's all about me getting ideas and also finding sync by accident and also just to know flow of music. That's
Hmm.
I think that's the best part of it because it's more of a challenge in AMVs because AMVs you're in control of the video. Here you just have to throw shit at the wall and see what it sticks. And then
Yeah.
sometimes you find something perfect, or you think about something and then something like strikes, and then you got to do it. And that's my philosophy. I like doing the unaltered stuff better because then it's a more of a challenge than to just do a regular AMB.
Well, that is interesting to know. I do have to say, since we were talking about Nagatoro, have you at least got a chance to watch this week's
Yes.
Nagatoro? Oh, so you did one for that one,
Yeah.
yeah. Let's take a second to talk about that show because I'm genuinely surprised how better this show is getting every week, man. It
Oh yeah.
really is amazing to see that, especially because I think they started bringing a bigger cast of characters now into the show. Now introducing the two girls from a while ago, and
Yoshi and
finally
whatever.
getting to
Yeah.
see more of their interactions in this week's episode, I thought was pretty great, especially because it has everything to do with hair and sheep.
Yeah, and ironically enough, I was reading the chapter for that just a few days ago, and it was like, yeah, that's they did a pretty damn good job. Although the scene with the kakigori ice and the aftermath, well, the aftermath of that scene, it was a little bit different.
Oh, they
Um,
altered it in the anime. I see.
they altered it in the anime, but it was because it was in the original manga, Nagatoro was standing behind a pole. In the anime, she was standing behind like a brick barrier.
Oh, okay.
So it was
Well,
a
it's just a
slight.
little
It was
small
slightly
thing.
different. Well, and also they had to change some of the language because they literally called him fucking. I think it was like hentai or something. It's like they can't. Well, you can't show that on television.
Or say that, I assume.
Standards and practices of Japan will get on your ass for that.
Indeed, man. All right. Well, I mean,
Hmm.
there are definitely a lot of other anime we could discuss. Well, ones that I've been watching outside of that, Itamakuna side and Nagatoro-san. Slime 300 has been getting more hilarious by the week. If you love Aoi Yuki's voice, you'll love her performance here in this show, especially when she just in this week's episode meets a ghost. And the whole comedy behind that I thought was pretty great. I really love Slime 300. Like I mentioned before in the past, that was the very first light novel series, and so far the only one that I've ever read. Um, and then, of course, learning to see it had a manga adaptation, and then, of course, now an anime adaptation, it just put me in pure joy. So I'm very happy to see that these episodes are delivering, especially from an anime studio that doesn't really have much history in other anime productions in the past. This is like one of their bigger production series that they've worked on. So yeah, very happy to see that they succeeded with Slime 300. But let's see what else is next. First of all, I think I see somebody hopping into the call. Who is that?
I'm ready.
Oh no, are you really ready?
No,
Okay.
I'm lying.
I don't know, man. This is going to be a very tough discussion to talk about, buddy, because I get the feeling there's going to be just so much mixed
Just
opinions
let,
and straight up mixed thoughts.
mixed.
Don't worry, Tyrone. I'm here to back you up.
Oh, you're the Vegeta in the picture that I posted today.
He's literally just Vegeta, yeah.
Vegeta.
It's just fucking. I already know what's happening. Come on.
All right.
Well,
Well,
you know what it's time to do? It's time to get the homeless guy with the old gold shopping cart.
first of all, I gotta turn these things off real
You,
quick.
you remember that scene in Avengers Endgame where Captain America's standing in front of the entire fucking army and Thanos? Well, imagine if the other heroes didn't show up. That's this scene right here. That's one of the realities.
Hey, Tyrone.
What?
On your left.
Nah, bro. Nah, there's no on my left this time.
There was
No,
never any on your left.
Yeah, there's Ant-Man crawling up to help me.
And he can't unshrink, so he's just.
Yeah, so he's just Ant-Man.
Wait, are you saying?
And that's why I
Wait a
throw the
minute.
superhero
Are you
universe
saying
in
I'm
the trash.
Ant-Man?
In this particular joke, yes.
What the hell?
All right, so let's go take a second to talk about this. Why don't we then? And I do say this a second because as we talk about animes, we always have to talk about the things that came outside of the anime. Let's talk about that drip my boy Ash,
Oh,
Gary,
God.
and Go got during this week's magazine release. So, in case people aren't aware, Animedia June 2021's issue had came out detailing quite a lot of information for what is to come, as well as just a very cutesy question that I think a lot of fans have been wondering since the very goddamn beginning. Who are they gonna marry? we got the answers, didn't you know? This is a first of all, I gotta say, I love I love everything about what I'm seeing here, man. I really do. If there is anything I can say, also I hear an echo in my voice, I think. But if there is anything that I can say personally from Journeys that I think Journeys is doing an extremely better job on than almost every other Pokemon anime series prior to this one, it's this. The amount of promotional content that they're releasing for this series is absolutely phenomenal. I'm loving these magazine interviews. I'm loving these magazine images exclusively for promotional stuff. I'm loving that we get to see things like this. Where was all of this in all the other generations, man? I'm just so glad that we're starting to go into now a new era of
They had promotional
content.
work in other ones.
No, they've had it,
Yeah,
but
but
never to the extent of
not
where
yeah,
we
but
are.
yeah, but they yeah, but to be honest,
What about the
Pokemon has
Ash
not.
and Serena in the tux and dress, and then the Ash and Serena in
Yeah,
the
you're talking about
but it
like
was
two images, buddy. Of
drinking
that
the
too.
juice,
yeah.
and then the Serena
Also,
with the Christmas outfit and the Bonnie
also
in
the
the
anime
snowman outfit.
the anime has not even been like promoted in Animedia since like OS.
Well, what
Yeah,
about the Domino's picture with Ash and Dawn?
But that's a fucking advertisement for Domino's Pizza.
yeah.
It's still
We're
promotional
saying,
art.
listen, they have had it. We're
They have
saying
had
they
it.
haven't had it to this extent. I don't recall when the Ash and Serena picture came out, they had a full on interview with the VAs.
And didn't they
So,
have like a thing where they were all on top of heart candies or some shit?
yeah, the Valentine's Day picture.
Oh yeah, that's what that was.
Yeah, that's what it was. And then, of
Okay,
course,
and
the other
then
image was the where your hand at, Ash, where you
yeah,
created it.
yeah, and then Vars just said that they were congratulating couples for the wedding season in Japan. So that's what this picture's about.
Yes, exactly.
Okay, got it.
So there's a whole
You hear
reason
that?
for
They're
this.
not fucking. Y'all hear that?
No, well, hold on, Tyrone. You don't know the full context of
Dang.
this image just yet, buddy. Well, we do have information about this. Done by Kobayashi-san's bold prediction, actually. Now, in case you're wondering who Kobayashi is, well, that might be the VA for somebody from this series right now that's going to be hopping in this episode really soon. I believe it's Shigure, if I'm correct.
Shigeru.
Yes, so Shigure's VA finally.
Shigeru.
Why do I keep saying Shigure for? Shigure.
Because you have under anime on the brain. It's Shigeru.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
think it's
I see.
also
This
probably-
is the problem that happens when I watch like 50,000 different anime shows, man.
Or you're also pronouncing a long E vowel sound instead of a short
Shigeru,
E.
Shigeru. But anyway, we got the VA of Shigeru finally coming out to talk a little bit about what we're gonna be expecting from this series, but most importantly, the predictions on brides and who might get married and who will likely get married first. So I thought it'd be kind of funny to kind of talk a little bit about it and just see how Gary's VA assumes these sort of things. And yeah, let's get right into it. Why don't we? So Kobayashi-san's bold predictions. A Satoshi and GOU and Shigeru June bride Q&A. So, question. Which of the three do you think is most likely to get married first? Before I give Kobayashi-san's answers, let's talk about that here in the call.
Before he says Gary.
Myself, of course.
Duh.
Now, for real though, like, who do you guys think is most likely out of the three candidates that you see here? Who do you think is the first one to get married?
I got 10 wives, Ashy boy. Polygamy.
Shigeru 100% because as
Yeah.
the thing says up there, it says well, first of all, red rose akaibara. Yeah, that's what it says. Akaibara ga niao. It's like the red rose fits the handsome boy. So he's a handsome boy. So he's gonna get
He's a
married
very
first.
stylish boy, man, and he got that drip on him 100%, man. I can't deny that.
Yeah.
So, what are your answers, guys? Who do you think is gonna go? You guys all saying?
I think it's got to be Gary.
All right, everybody here saying Gary Boyd.
Let me break this down through and analyze it as an actual, like, based on the narratives we've been given.
Mm-hmm.
So if we actually break this down, like really take the time to break this down, it's gonna be Gary still, and that it is not because of the joke I made earlier. It's because if out of all the characters, technically Gary's the one that's matured the quickest, but that's literally because most of his character development happens when he's not present with Ash. So Gary's character, and I'm not even talking about like the cocky, like ashy boy. No, not that one. The Gary that actually matured from Kanto to Johto, and then later Johto to Sinnoh. Gary's character has unfortunately lost what made us like him, which was that cocky ass, shit boy ass attitude. But it's because he molded out of that first, he more than likely will be able to find a mate because he's a lot more level-headed now than he was. Ash, unfortunately, is trapped in the realm of never progress. He's had some mature moments, and he's got definitely admirers. Jesus fucking Christ. But if we really had to break it down, he'd probably go second. If we went based off of like accomplishments and just overall love of Pokemon, which is one of the things that picked him up with chicks, especially in like episode 3 when Ash is congratulating Caterpie for evolving, and Misty's like, "Oh, he really does love Pokemon." Like that alone, and his personality would allow him to, you know, find someone who obviously equally has that much passion for Pokemon. GOU is socially distant. So he's the hardest person to find a mate because shit, it's the hardest for him to even get used to being around people. So yeah, we're going by that order. Gary, Ash, GOU.
All right, then. Well, here's Kobayashi's son's answer to that. Answer, surely that would be Satoshi. He's very straightforward, so if he fell in love with someone, he'd go straight for it, wouldn't he? He'd probably just go, "You're the only one for me. Let's get married," or something. And that was the answer that Kobayashi-san gave. I mean, to be fair, Ash is kind of that boy who would just go straight on to something.
Kobayashi-san spitting facts, actually. I agree with him.
Her.
I said them because I didn't know if
well, now you'll know that it is indeed a her. And
okay. Well, now I know.
Yes, now you know. All right, then. So, what do you guys say we move on into the next question that we got here? So, I don't think we're going to be breaking it down too far with this one because it is kind of like 3-in-1 question, but here we go. Question for Kobayashi-san. What kind of wedding do you think each of the 3 should have? Would you guys want to break it down, or do you guys want the answers for that 3?
First of all, Satoshi looks like he's about ready to go fucking have a wedding in fucking the Sahara Desert.
Yeah, he got the attire for it for sure.
Long sleeves, short shorts. What are you prepared for?
A Pokemon battle.
Yeah,
that is his answer. But here we go. Let's take a look at the answers. Why don't we? So, what kind of wedding do you think Shigeru will have? Definitely a super extravagant one. Have a huge ceremony. And if you're going to do this, I want you to absolutely dress to kill with a white tuxedo and a red rose, which is something that TSS was bringing up a little while ago. And we got the full context, I assume, in this one right here. Now, for Satoshi, though, how does Satoshi's wedding turn out? Well, it's very basic, actually. I'd like you to have a nice and cozy dinner with just the family for Satoshi.
Really?
That's the one that Kobayashi assumes for Satoshi.
His would seem like it'd be outside, first of all. He would have an outside wedding. I don't know. He seems like the outdoorsy type.
Yeah, he doesn't like staying.
I mean, you gotta fit. You gotta fit the budget so it's less than a $10 budget for freaking Marina Eichholz.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like Ash's wedding would seem like it'd be an outdoor situation.
I do too, especially if they're going to Pallet Town, which is literally just nothing but outdoorsy stuff.
GOU would just sign court papers and go back home.
Well, actually, with the answer for go,
He'd be like, wife again, dog? Tia says, do the wife. Just say wife and word Pokemon with me.
No. It would be Let me try to think here.
Just
for a
say
second.
waifu instead.
It's like 奥さんが新しく図鑑に登録されます。
God damn, man.
What?
Just like that. Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, Go is going to be the only one who's probably not going to get that secret last Pokemon because apparently for Kobayashi-san's answer for Go, it says here, you can't get married before you realize your dream. I won't allow you to marry until you grow a bit, both physically and mentally. Why are
So
shippers
after
using his VAs? No, we're just playing around with that is all.
After catching Mew, the wife is post game.
Yeah, man, I need the DNA of all. I don't know what's going on with that dream for Go, but yeah, so let's see. Here's the next question, guys. What kind of partner would they be if they got married? Let's try to go at it one at a time, why don't we? We got Shigeru first. How do you think Shigeru would be as a partner for the other person? You see him as a good, a bad, or not in between, or would you guys like just the answer right now?
I think I think he'll just be a dom. He'll just be a dom alpha. Like he's not gonna be like, give me a sandwich, bitch. No, he's not gonna be like that. But I like the joke in my head, so I'm just not saying fuck it.
That was.
I mean, but he's gonna be very assertive. Like he'll be a very assertive, very like strong husband. Like I believe that he's basically the one that like makes the key decisions in the relationship.
Well, here's the answer for that then. Shigeru, I think he might be a sophisticated yet kind husband.
See?
Huh?
Yeah, no, that's it. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, he's very neat and punctual, so he might want his partner to operate on that same level. But in general, I think he'd be considerate and kind. So you got it right perfect with that one, I think, Tyrone.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah.
All right, now for
Nice.
Satoshi, I'm not thinking everybody's going to have that hard of an opinion.
Ash. Poor Ash.
No, not poor Ash. Poor Ash's wife, because he's going to go out on a Pokemon adventure, man. Just ditch her ass. Let's be real here. That's what his dad did.
He's gonna get his arm caught in the fucking dryer.
That shit should have happened on Sun and Moon, man. But yeah, so for Satoshi though, here's the answer for Satoshi.
I don't know. We'll ask Serena.
Satoshi goes to buy milk. I said that in the chat. Fucking radiant.
I'm gonna go buy milk at this grocery cart league.
Here we go. So,
he needs to go to the fucking 7-Eleven and fucking have the Daydream Believer fucking instrumental play in the background while he's doing it.
Ash went to Whole Foods to grab milk like years ago.
That thing's probably expired by now.
Pikachu, let's go.
Here's Satoshi. Satoshi is cheerful, kind, and reliable. So I think he'll be a good father. I'm sure he'll raise a kind and loving family. But he's a bit of a scatterbrain, so he'll probably get scolded by his partner a lot too.
He's a fucking idiot.
No, it would be like his wife would be like Chi-Chi.
He's a fucking idiot.
No. I was gonna say, Ash is gonna go to the as I think Tyrone said he's gonna go to the grocery league. His wife's gonna be like, Ash went to get milk years ago, and then they're gonna turn on the TV, and it's gonna be a. He's gonna spend fucking 45 minutes deciding what fucking onigiri to buy. Kid from Pallet Town wins local league. As the headline on the news.
He's like holding a rack of bananas. Like the somebody edit the bananas on the Alolan trophy, please.
It's the banana cup.
Yeah, he's thinking it's a trophy when they're like, he just bought bananas. I don't know what he's thinking about.
And as
that's gonna happen. No, that's gonna happen, and then it's gonna be like the what is it? The video game awards where it's like when you're not in your own book. That scene.
somebody said Ash, but with heavy rain.
Heavy rain.
Jason.
Pikachu.
Here's Go's though. I think I feel bad for Go. God damn, man. Go still seems to act like a needy child sometimes. So maybe he'd act that way with his partner too. God damn, Go.
Damn, even this person doesn't like Go.
Nah, I think
Go gets to a
I think she understands Go's character being so clingy sometimes. Go is clingy with Koharu confirmed.
Yo, get in here. I'm horny.
shoot.
Yes,
Oh,
dear.
shoot.
Yes, dear.
It's time for your 10 o'clock beating is basically what it is.
Yes, dear.
Oh my god.
No, time for your balls to get crushed.
Yes, honey. All right. Well, we got the last question going on right here. This is the last one. How would the household chores be split?
Oh, fuck.
Shit. Oh shit.
Let's talk Shigeru first because that's the first one that I see here. How do you think Shigeru takes care of the chores in the house?
I think he'll do like the mowing the lawn and basically all the ones that require like just muscle.
All right. Who else has an opinion on this, or
He's just gonna snap his fingers and the shit's gonna get done.
Yeah,
he's gonna get his own personal chef.
He's gonna use that. He's gonna use his scientist money.
He's got housemaids. Get it done.
Well, here's the answer then. So Shigeru, he'd be doing the cooking. Since he is a researcher, I think he'd sometimes get the urge to cook some really elaborate and extremely delicious dishes using luxury ingredients. This would also be when he got in the mood for it, though. This would only be when he got the mood
I
for
only
it.
cook when I feel like it.
Well, he's gonna be that jackass that makes the fucking $25,000 pizza because he has to buy the fucking edible gold and shit.
Yeah, like they scrape the gold little pieces on top of that pizza, man. Holy shit. You know, I can at least say I made it when I did it.
$10,000.
Is it weird that I want to know if it tastes good or not?
Now that's what I'm saying. You know you've peaked when you get the chance to eat something that has gold flake pieces on top of it.
Yeah, there's still a place downtown that you can get a sundae that has edible gold on it for like $1,000.
TSS, we're going there when we reunite again some point, man. I'll pay.
You're buying. Yeah, you're buying.
Hey, listen,
I
man.
am fucking $1,000
I would be more than happy to pay for that shit. I have all this Anime NYC money that didn't get touched last year. At this point, I'll go play with some gold flakes then and just call that shit a day. But nah, here.
The problem is the gold flakes taste like nothing. Like,
but at least I'll say I've eaten gold.
Right, nothing but class, right?
Exactly. I got class in me. What do you got? No. But here we go for Satoshi though, and I feel bad for Satoshi with this one. So here's Satoshi's answer. I'd like him to clean the bathroom and toilet. That's the most difficult chore. And I want him to clean properly so no mold grows around the water.
I just remember when Ash, it was in the OG series before the Pokemon League started, the Indigo Plateau. I remember he did chores with his Pokemon. That's like the only thing that came up in my head when he had to do chores.
Yeah, but like,
but it's like it's gonna be Mr. Clean. It's like really? Like fucking you wanted to fucking do Mr. Clean shit? Get him a fucking magic eraser, fucking $3.99. Fuck that.
Nah, he wants to make sure Satoshi does it itself by hand. Jesus Christ, man.
With a toothbrush.
Jesus Christ, who's his wife at this point, man? Makes you wonder.
Misty.
Nagatoro-san, next.
All right, here's Go's answer.
If you break down Misty, she is the most abusive that exists as far as female companions.
Hey,
All
by
right.
the way,
Yes.
KG, in the Discord, Kuro Blitz put the picture of Ash holding the Alola tree.
Yes!
We put bananas on it.
Yes!
Oh, I see it.
You should put it on stream.
Yeah, I'll put it on
That's
screen.
great.
Thanks for bringing that shit up. Hold on.
Thank you, Kuro. Yes.
Let me try to see if I can fit that in here real quick. But before I put the image, no, I'll just put it now. Actually, let me just do that now. Here we go, guys. Enjoy your Banana Blitz trophy, buddy.
Yes.
But here's the last answer, though.
You came back from the groceries.
So how would the
The
household
Banana
chores
Blitz
be split?
trophy.
For Go, though, I want him to do the laundry, then dry it, take it in, and fold it. Folding laundry is surprisingly hard, isn't it? But that's the sort of stuff Go seems to be good at. So I want him to do it.
Go would actually seem like he'd be really good at the in-house chores.
Yeah, isn't he like a loner? So he has to kind of do most of the things by himself?
Yeah, he did it by himself. So
Yeah,
he's
he had to
already-
learn this shit. Kind of a little sad for Go, but yeah, I can see what Go would be for there.
Go seems like he would iron clothes.
Yeah.
One thing I find funny about this is how she was so specific with what the chores are that they're doing.
Yeah, like why
Yeah.
specifically the toilet and why the mold?
Well, because Koharu wants that shit.
No, I'm talking about for Satoshi, unless oh god, Koharu Satoshi's what?
Yeah.
Nah.
No, I'm kidding. But what's the next? Also, we're at 84 fucking viewers, by the way. I just
Hello,
wanna point
everybody.
that out. All we had to do was talk about Ash, Go, and Gary's fucking married life.
Hey, listen, man, it works, don't it? Surprise,
Yeah.
surprise.
Sex sells, Ashy boy.
Oh god. Okay, so that was the
Tell that to everybody that makes Dojin at fucking Comic Cat.
but I believe that was it for the wedding Q&A stuff, in case people were wondering. That was honestly the best part. I really wanted to read that in particular because, well, given that it came out recently, I thought that was the most important one. Now, I do know that there were some other info bits that came out. I did hear something about a Blastoise in particular being very interesting for an episode coming soon. I'm not sure to what extent they refer to that, but we did see Blastoise feet in that preview. So, Blastoise is coming. I'm just not sure to what extent that Blastoise is coming. So, that Blastoise is going to provide in the anime scene. So, we're going to see how things play out. But we do know that some information came out stating that, obviously we're going to be seeing how Shigure comes back from Sinnoh in particular, since he's still over there in the Sinnoh region as a professor. And he's on his way here to Kanto for a particular reason. And that particular reason is being none other than the fire. So, yeah. There's not really much more aside from that in terms of what we're going to be getting from it. I don't really want to go into full breakdown for that bit yet, because I think it's something we should probably wait for when the episode drops and just enjoy that moment then and there. However, I do want to talk about a certain sussy we got up in one of the upcoming episodes. Pikachu gets arrested. He got his ass arrested. I'm not kidding.
That was a hell of a.
You know what that means? I gotta do AMV with the fucking bus uppercut guy. That's it.
Yeah. Now
That was a hell of a transition, KG.
Listen, man, I'm sorry for
something sus.
Yeah, listen, we go from weddings to jail.
Pikachu got arrested.
Yeah,
You're going to jail now.
And apparently we have multiple people who don't know how to fucking pronounce names too. So that's cool.
Now, allow me to read the summary for this upcoming episode that focuses on Pikachu getting his ass arrested by Officer Jenny. So it says here, one day, Officer Jenny visits, and Detective Decker visit the Sakuragi laboratories. They explain that they've watched episode 30 of the Pokemon Journeys anime and found it too highly suspectful to the point that they decided to arrest Pikachu for said crime. God, episode 30 really fucked it up for him, man. But in reality, though, they explain that they've come to check the electric-type Pokemon there as part of a search for the culprit of a series of electricity theft incidents that have been taking place in Kuchiba City. And after suspecting a number of the electric-type Pokemon there, including Wanpachi, they eventually arrest Pikachu for the crimes. Please, Officer Jenny, this is the only time I have to ask. I want you to bring the smallest little handcuffs and just put
That also means I have to bust out the Elton John demo for Crimes of Passion.
I need to see Pikachu with the little cuffs, man.
You have the right to remain silent. Just hits Pikachu hard with one of the billions.
Hashtag free to homie Pikachu.
I just I just want Ash and the others to be watching Cops on the big screen in Sakuragi's lab. Oh man, that place looks familiar that Jenny's in. Huh. And they're taking some guy's Pikachu away. Huh. Wait a minute!
Just plays the opening.
That fucking dog! It's Womp.
Actually, that would actually be pretty good. We gotta get a clip from Cops, and then just have one in the where the guy's getting fucking thrown in the cop car.
And then we edit the background.
We want some fucking we got some fucking Inikamuzi.
Please don't give me no break.
The soldier man not giving no break. Even the Aja man giving no break. Hey, bad boys. What you gonna do?
I
What
love
you
the
gonna
idea
do?
of Ash looking at Cops and seeing it in real time, but not realizing it's his Pikachu.
Oh my god. I can't wait, man. I really can't wait to see this episode.
Go's like, Ash, they're here. Shut up, Go. Some idiot Pikachu's getting stolen. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's once again proof that they're actually wanting to tell a compelling story, which I'm going to get to in a few minutes.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right, CSS, I do have to ask, what is that compelling story that you are probably referring to?
No, I mean, it was going to be part of my point where now in the last 2 months, the writers have decided, okay, we're not fooling around anymore, and we're actually going to tell a fucking compelling story.
Yeah, ever since the director changed. I will say this, I've had more smiles on my face than last year from James.
Yeah, for sure.
Right?
And I think actually that the direction is going.
I wish I could say the same, KG.
Oh man, well, that sucks to be you, buddy.
Sucks to be you. I know.
I like
sucks
it
to be you.
I'm just kidding. Nah, I'm just
kidding. You know it's true. That song.
Oh god, that song. All right, well, let me see if there's anything else of information to talk about. Aside from the Journeys thing with the Ash, Go, and Gary picture, which I really, really love so much. There's really not much more to say. There are some episode updates.
Mornox calling back to the fucking animated Cops from the 1980s, which had nothing to do with the Fox Cops. See, that's a real OG man right there. You get
now
points.
That's a far reference I can't keep up with, unfortunately. I almost forgot. Episode 69 did also get an info update, which is about the Grookey and Eevee episode. You know, the one where they have to go and do things by themselves kind of episode? Yeah, that's kind of it for Grookey and Eevee. So, Satoshi, Go, and Koharu are visiting a Pokemon Center where the naughty Sarunori and Ibui are constantly keeping the dumb on their toes. Go and Koharu insist their Pokemon are actually really good kids. And Satoshi decides to help out by suggesting they give the Pokemon duo an errand to run. Will their first errand go smoothly? Given that it's only just a full episode and not a half, I'm assuming probably not. Just an assumption here, but I'm interested to see how this episode's going to turn out, man. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
it's gonna be once again a reference to a freaking episode that only a series that only airs on fucking TV Tokyo. So it's like once again, people out in the West will be completely lost.
In fact, people in the West are referring this episode to the Chespin and Bumblebee episode from X and Y.
because it was basically it's basically based off of the same program.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's. That's when you don't have and you don't know the other material that is being referenced, it kind of gets lost in translation. But to have it actually here and then when you realize what it is and for the audience that it is familiar with, then they get it more than the person that hasn't seen. I mean, they do that. Hell, we even had a reference a couple of months back to the eating show that was after Pokemon aired.
Yeah.
So and then nobody caught that except for people in Japan and me.
Mm-hmm. So because that's the thing. Sometimes because what was it, the The burger. Remember the whole burger talk we had a while
Yes.
back? That was like
Yes.
something so far out that none of us could have understood at the time, except I believe you were the one that brought it up back then, and I think it had like a
Yes.
Godzilla song in the background or
Yeah,
something.
it had used the Godzilla theme.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I mean, there are things like that makes me interested for like how this episode's gonna play out.
Yeah, it was for like a mass eating show that aired after Pokemon, and then it gave like a reference.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the whole thing. It's like an indirect reference, but it does happen.
It's still a good reference regardless, and I just hope that more people will begin to understand that it doesn't always have to tie to the West. It has things in itself in Japan that it tries to make reference to.
I mean to be honest, they're still trying to get the ratings up, and it's still not working. So
Yeah, unfortunately, and I feel this week's episode is probably going to be that same regardless. And well, I guess now would be the perfect opportunity to kind of take a second to before hopping into this episode. I do want to do something real quick. Because I didn't discover this until I think it was after the recent stream I did with the reaction for this week's episode. I discovered that there is a predictions button on Twitch where people can donate points that they have and see if they can predict whether we can have an opinion that will be favorable or unfavorable. So, for example,
oh my fucking god!
So, for example, if I was to write, will we enjoy this week's episode, or I don't know, something like that, or will the review be?
So basically, remember that scene from Smash Brothers trailer where Shulk had did the foresight thing and knew everybody was gonna die? It's that. That's what's gonna happen, literally for me.
Yeah. So let me see. I'm gonna put this. Here we go. I'm gonna put. Did Terrell enjoy this week's episode? And now people are gonna have to go and predict. I'm gonna put it for about a minute. Predict if he really did enjoy the episode or not. Because sometimes the reaction and a review can be two completely separate things. And we don't know necessarily his true full opinions outside of that reaction. But as you guys already know,
two people, by the way. Holy shit!
How many people?
No, I'm about to fight the entire internet, and everybody decides to show up.
All right, there
Sucks
we go.
to be you.
There we go. Predictions started, ladies and gents. Let us now go have fun
Let's
with that.
see.
Go and win channel points if you make the correct one. So go in and decide what points you want to go in and see if you are on team yay or team nay. Don't be afraid. Don't put in as much points as you guys would. Try. Holy shit! 95.9K.
Pretty cool.
Holy crap!
I like
Hold
that.
on.
Yeah, so
nice.
everybody go in, vote how many points you want to go in for that, and just have fun with it, man.
I wish I had this for the Catherine stream. This is dope.
Yeah, it is really dope. I love that this is a thing, man. So obviously, I'm setting things up for the review right now to get into for tonight.
How much points do you get if you're right?
I believe it's like either double the amount that you
Yeah.
put in or triple, depending
Yeah.
on how much I put in.
So everybody's getting 3 points right now.
Well, maybe. I don't know.
Nah.
You don't know, man. Terrell could say a different opinion, man. Look at that. So look, even in the Twitch chat, they even have the predicted no and predicted yes options for the folks here. Holy shit, I didn't know that. That is really awesome. Thank you guys so much for putting in some votes there. Look at that. We got some yays and nays in the chat. This is so cool, man. I love this.
Crazy.
That is awesome. All right, guys. Enjoy those cute icons, and we're going to do this more often every week, I think, from now on for the PokePod to make things more interactive with everybody. The Media Nut, thank you so much for hosting. Really do appreciate it, buddy.
Hey, thank you, Media. We got 98. Woo, we're about to hit that one. We haven't hit 100 in a while. We hit 100 a long time ago, and it was for like a big episode or something.
Yeah, I think it was the Karina episode for what I recall.
I don't think we've hit 100 in a long time.
I'll plug on Twitter. Also,
this better not cost me actual money. Nah, don't worry. It only costs you your Gumi points.
You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's because I'm here.
Yes, it's Ion's the chosen one. All right, then let me go and grab the images for this week's episode. Why don't I? So we can actually get into the review for tonight. Because
Here we
I think
go.
it's going to be a busy night. But
Oh shit, a new challenger.
Hey,
Oh.
I'm on time this time, right?
yes, you made it! Yay! There you are, buddy.
What's up, everybody? How's it going?
It's all
Hello,
good. How about you,
stranger.
man? Hopefully everything's been going well for you, man.
He had 99. I'm hyped.
Yeah, it's going great. I just finished my last college final exam last night, so I'm a free man for I don't know next week or two. So
Woo!
yeah, things are going great. And hello, Ayan. It's nice to finally talk to you.
Wait,
We've
y'all didn't talk
talked-
at all
we've
during our
talked-
crossovers?
Wait, never
We've
mind. We
talked
played Super
before.
Smash Brothers. That's right. I forgot.
That was a whole tournament.
That was a whole tournament and a half ago. By the way, that tournament was still
forgot.
great, man.
Fun. I liked that.
That
Yeah,
was good.
indeed
We can
it
put
was.
another
Gonna be
one on.
forget about Zoidberg, right?
Yeah. And then we had the PokePod crossover, the anti-poke crossover.
Yeah, that was in December of last year, if I recall correctly.
Yeah, and I was in Zach's video. Also, I wasn't like officially a part of that. I just kind of got in by association because I was in Zach's XY review.
Like, well, but, we need another person. Come on through, buddy. All right, so hold
Again,
on.
we
I
gotta
need to
have
get a
that for
particular image in before we actually begin tonight's reaction because I saw this shit and I was just wheezing to death when I saw this video.
Is it Suicune?
Yeah, okay. Well, I think that's something we should probably discuss because Suicunes. So I'm so happy. I didn't think the Suicune trend would have actually caught on. I thought that
You
that
knew
was
I
a
was
one.
gonna catch on. What
No,
the
I
fuck?
didn't. I was doing it in my own two hands, man, for like a majority of like these past couple of weeks.
You've given Suicune more screen time than any fucking Pokemon Go has.
I know, and I'm so happy that finally my boy Suicune getting out here some love, man. And it's not from me. And by love, I mean, I guess getting your ass flattened by a giant ass dragon I considered love.
Don't do it to him.
All right, here we go. I got the image here. Oh my god, I love this image so freaking much, man.
Put it up.
Yeah, let me put that shit up real quick because this shit had me wheezing the whole way through. Hold on.
God.
Oh my god. Hold on. Let me get this image up for you guys.
This shows how much of an impact our fans have. Like, the fuck?
Look at this shit, man.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I kind of wish you had had the one where you. I kind of wish they had the one where Ash put up the peace sign while Suicune still died. Yeah.
Oh man, that would have been good too. But nah, regardless though, I love what I saw here.
Incredible.
It is incredible, man. I once again, much love to the people who did this, and that in particular it goes to let me see, Sam Lizardon Stan on social media. Thank you so much for that, buddy. Really do appreciate it. For
Good
going out of your
job,
way
man.
to edit.
Good
If any
job.
people have any edits that they'd ever liked for us to go and
Yeah,
post
show us your
online,
best Suicune edit.
yeah, and then we'll probably have a little contest for it. Who knows? We'll see who can make the best
The
last.
Suicune edit contest.
Hey,
Yeah.
listen, man. I'd put money down
I
for
think I
that.
might join it. Yeah, I think I might get in on this.
The
Yeah, I
best
might.
Suicune edit wins. That would be pretty awesome.
Yeah, I
actually.
want
Yeah.
contributions from the fans, man, because the fans are the ones that really
So,
come through.
KG,
For us.
you should probably give them a clean PNG of Suicune.
Yeah, I'll do that whenever we actually do the legitimate contest at some
Yeah.
point later down the road. But yeah, so in case you're wondering where Suicune was, he got his ass flattened by Dragonite in that scene. But now, let's actually get it into tonight's review. What do you guys say? You guys all ready?
Rock.
Ready to go? All right, let's get to it. So,
Put my battle armor on.
ladies and gents, welcome to this week's
It's gonna look
episode
like-
review.
Tyrone is gonna be playing the part of Mega Man Farouk.
Yep.
So, ladies and gents, this week's episode was a very, very important episode for a lot of fans. And by a lot of fans, I mean one fan. And that one fan being Terrell, because he was really honestly, the big...
Yeah, he was the honest fan.
Like, there are BW fans, but if we're talking about the big one, the one who really stands BW the most, Terrell was the one that honestly enjoyed it quite a lot. In fact, out of all of us, I think he was the most excited. And in fact, I think was the one that everybody was kind of hoping to hear an answer from, which hopefully we'll get an answer from him soon. But yeah, so this episode titled Dragon Battle Ash versus Iris. So the episode is pretty much as follows. Ash has received a letter from his old friend Iris challenging him to a Pokemon battle. Ash eagerly takes on the challenge, and he and Go decides to head off to Opelucid City in the Unova region to meet Iris. Iris has been training hard and has become the champion of the Unova region and wants to put Ash's Dragon-type Pokemon to the test. Being able to see the hearts of Ash's Dragonite and Draco Fish, aka Mr. Fish, the battle is going to be tough. Will Ash be able to defeat his old friend? That was the summary we got. Let's get into the review now, because honestly, I don't know how I'm supposed to break down this episode bit by bit, with this one majority being of the fight itself. And I think it's just better to kind of go into two different approaches. At least that's how I'm going to be handling it for this episode. I'm going to be going at two different approaches. The fan service approach and the love letter approach, I guess you could call it, and then of course the journeys approach. How does this episode work as an episode that represents best wishes and the fan service that accompanies it? And then of course, how does this episode work as a journeys episode, given that this is tied to the PWC? So we have a lot to break down. There's so much to go and discuss, and I think the best way we can begin is by simply talking about the character who showed up in this episode. For the first time, well, not a sub-companion, but a legitimate companion finally comes through here in the name of Iris from the Unova region, aka Best Wishes. So, what is her character? Well, I mean, if you watch Best Wishes, you already know who she kind of is. But what has she done now? Where has she been this whole time? Well, this episode actually covers that. What she's been going through is that she, during her time as trying to become a Dragon Master, has managed to gain a lot of, I guess, just power in her team, because she's now the champion of the Unova region. She's not simply like a gym leader. No, we skipped that phase. We're just going straight to champion status at this point with her character. And now she is viewed as the champion of the Unova region. Alder who? I don't know. I honestly don't know who was Alder again. I really don't remember much of that character.
And I volunteer to go last.
All right. Well, hear your opinion last then, buddy. But yes, so things have changed. Iris has grown. She's now a champion. But I will admit, though, this is going to be something that I think is going to be a fun discussion. So let's get right into it then. Let's start off with you, John, I guess. What do you think about the representation that Iris got within this week's episode of PM 2019?
Okay, so I like this episode as a Best Wishes throwback episode, you know? I think it was really good in that department. We got to see some Pokemon like the Emolga, who was just on screen a second ago, that I didn't really think we were going to get to.
Hey, we did make it. Thank you guys so much for hitting that big 100, everybody. All right,
John,
I'm sorry for interrupting.
I did it, yeah!
It was you!
I pushed us over the edge, I guess. Anyhow, so as the Best Wishes kind of tie-in episode, I thought it was really good. I thought it was much better than the previous Unova episodes for sure. But I'm conflicted on the Iris part, because it's like Iris from the anime didn't really have this thing going for her where it's like she was gonna become the champion at some point.
Thank God, I'm not the only one that thinks that.
Yeah, it's like, because I remember at the end of Best Wishes, it was like, not Alder. Who's this guy named? Drayden. Drayden wants Iris to take over for the gym, and it's like, okay, they're maybe gonna follow along the game route here, right? But no, they just jump straight past the gym leader portion and go straight into her being champion. We're not going to talk about Alder. We're not going to talk about the process at all. Did she win a league? Did Alder handpick her? Did she just defeat Alder in a battle one-on-one? What was the process like? I need to know more. You can't just be like, oh, she's the Unova champion now, when we already knew who the Unova champion was. He was a pretty significant character in Best Wishes. So it's I think it's a little weird that they just kind of tossed Alder aside and didn't talk about that at all. But it's just kind of the fast-paced nature of these Journeys episodes, where it's they have so much to do, and there is a lot of really, really cool stuff that happens in this episode. But it's there's little room for it to breathe, basically. Like, Iris becomes champion. You're like, whoa, that's such a cool moment. I want to know more. And then it's like, oh, we have to move on to the next point already because we got to cram this all in one episode, right? And then it's like, oh, Axu evolved. He finally fulfilled his dream. That's awesome. Okay, we're going to move on from that now. We're not going to spend any more time on that. Oh, Dragonite learned Draco Meteor. That's dope. But it's like, okay, we got to move on from that now, too. Like, there's so many cool moments, like, in a bubble, but none of them have time to breathe. They all just kind of keep going. And I wish there was, like, a build-up episode into this one, right? Because it's like there could have been so much more that led up to this. I do appreciate that the Haxorus thing was kept as a surprise. Actually, I don't think that was spoiled. I mean, a lot of people speculated about it, but
yeah, because I think the issue was that what was it for the Sun and Moon episode? They did reveal Lei, if you remember. For that one, they I don't know why the hell they did that. So I guess they learned their lesson by not revealing the Haxorus in this episode. The only form of leak that we got for Haxorus was that little cute figurine toy that comes with the candy. So
I agree with what Kuroblitz said here in the chat, where it said they overly rely on game lore to fill the gaps, where it's like they're just assuming that you're familiar with the games, so it's like, oh, Iris is champion now, nobody's gonna question it, right?
Iris is champion because that's what her fucking toy looks like. Like,
so the other issue, right, is that this episode, and Ayan and I talked about this on Discord, but it is beat for beat just the Karina episode.
it is!
It is the exact same episode with a new coat of paint and slightly cooler things happen.
The exact same episode. And I knew this shit would happen.
It's literally like that. Like the only difference is that Iris doesn't go up like 2 Pokemon because like Ash switches Dragonite out for Dracovish.
Yeah.
And the Dracovish wins, pretty much the same thing. It's pretty much the same, like,
exact
story
and
structure.
This shit would happen, and everybody's all like, "You're too fucking negative. Fuck y'all."
But
that's why you don't go outside. Right.
With all that being said, with all of my complaints being out of the way, I want to get to the good stuff. This episode had some really, really good animation cuts, probably the best in Journey so far, outside of like episode 2, which just looked phenomenal all around. So very good animation cuts. I like the music selection. We didn't get any of like the actual Best Wishes music, but we got music from a Unova movie, M15. So like that was kind of a nice throwback. I wish we got a little bit more instead of just like, Galar Trainer Battle theme. I wish we got like the Best Wishes title theme or something like that, because they use that in XY. Like they have XY remixes of Best Wishes music that they still have access to, but they're just choosing not to use it. So
it's also a licensing issue, which I'm going to get to later.
Yeah. So it's like, so music side of things was good. Animation was really good. While this episode structure itself was not particularly original, I still think it was a good episode. Like, this is probably my favorite Journeys episode so far, if I'm being completely real. Like, I'd give it a solid 9 out of 10 episode, but I do have some nitpicks. Like, I can acknowledge, like, okay, this was a blatant, like, just copy-paste of the Karina episode, but they overhauled a few elements. And then also, like, there's a lot of cool moments, but none of them have room to breathe. That's the biggest thing, but that's a Journeys problem in general. That's not, like, a problem with this episode. Like, that happens in, like, nearly every Journeys episode where there's, like, something plot-related, usually pertaining to the PWC, that happens in an episode. It's just like there's so much they have to cram in, and they just can't. Like, they're doing the best they can. Like, you could tell, like, the beginning of the episode, where it was like, okay, Go's gonna catch these 2 Milky Pokemon real quick, and then he's gonna run into Iris, and then they spent, like, no time on that. They're like, we gotta get right into the battle. Like, they're not wasting any time. So I think they used their time effectively, but again, it's just an issue of not having enough time. So I'll pass it off to whoever wants to go next.
Let's also pass it off to our other guest, then, why don't we? So let's pass it off to Ayan, why don't we?
Ayan,
all
right,
buddy.
Yeah. JPR covered a lot of the things I agree with him. One thing nobody's talking about is Emolga's Japanese name is Imonga, which is like Among Us.
Oh, no.
All right, throw him off. Never have him back on again.
Yeah.
Anyway. So I made I didn't actually like upload it publicly, and it also got taken down by ShowPro, even though I posted it unlisted. But I literally just set my phone next to my computer as I was watching the episode, and I got a reaction of it. I enjoyed this episode, right? Up until the freaking end. What is the fucking point of hyping up Iris as a champion, hyping up Iris's new badass Haxorus, and then she just fucking loses?
That's a point. That's an
Ugh.
Hey, welcome to the Karina episode.
Take a ticket.
Again, this is
Here
B
with
for
line.
B, a copy of the Korea episode. It's so dumb. Additionally, this isn't like something that was like required, right? You don't need it to make an episode good, but it would have been nice to, when Iris said, "Hey, I'm the champion now," it would have been nice for Ash to say, "Oh yeah, well I'm also a champion," so or something like that. Some little reference like that. I feel like Pokemon doesn't do that kind of continuity really anymore, but I feel like if they were going to do it, that would have been the place to do it. I don't know. I feel like it would have been in Ash's character to say that.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people in response to that argue that, like, well, Ash didn't show off his Orange League championship or the fact
What are
that he
you
won
talking
Battle
about? Yes, he
Frontier.
fucking did.
Yeah, so like he did it like one time, and then like the thing with Battle Frontier is like they waited like 140 episodes into Diamond and Pearl before they finally talked about that, and it's like okay, but this is Ash winning it like an actual regional league that matters, and
that's
it's not a
thing.
it's not a Sun and Moon episode like a lot of people are saying. Oh, it wouldn't have fit here because it's not a Sun and Moon episode, and that's a Sun and Moon reference. But it's like, why be so afraid of that? That was still only like a year ago, like a year and a half.
Yeah. Also, like even then, like there doesn't need to be like a precedence for it in the past of Ash flexing his achievements or whatever. However long it took 120 episodes into Diamond Pearl Battle Frontier, that doesn't matter. Like I don't know. We don't need to look at past examples of when he brought up his achievements to talk about when they should do it in Journeys. This moment, like at this exact moment, like I feel like this was a better moment to do it than in the actual Alola episode itself. Because like in the Alola episode, they didn't need to do that. Like everybody, like
they know he's a champion. Like they don't need to know that. So
yeah, like they don't need to be like, "Oh, what's up, champion Ash?" That would be forced. But this moment, if Iris is like, "Yeah, I climbed the ranks and I became the champion," and Ash was be like, "Yeah, in my time in the Alola region, I made a lot of good friends and I became the champion there as well." Something simple like that, and then they go into the battle. And that also, like again, as I was saying before, I just feel like Iris should have won this battle. There was no reason to hype her up as a champion and then just have her lose. It makes her look weaker than she is because she's literally champion, so she's strong, but it makes her look weak. Also, that brings up another point. I saw this on Twitter, but like now that Ash beat Iris, does that mean he's the champion of Unova?
No.
No, it doesn't.
But his Dracovish and his Dragonite are now champion mons alongside his Alola mons.
That's another,
No.
What's the point? That's so stupid to me.
Mr. Fish is a champion tier Pokemon.
Like, that's another thing. It makes Iris look extremely weak. Ash pulls up with his rookie team that he's caught within the past like 40, 50 episodes. And he wins somehow with Dracovish that he's used like once since he's caught it, and it beats Iris's Dragonite. That made me mad, honestly.
And only like 2-3 episodes ago, Ash was like, "Oh, I've never seen Dracovish even use a move that isn't Water Gun."
And then
he's
Ice
not even.
Fang.
He's not even using him in off-screen land. Like that's the sad thing.
Yeah, so
Christ.
they hype up Iris's Dragonite, right? That started off the battle kicking Ash's Dragonite's ass, excuse me. And then Ash is like, all right, now Dracovish, and then Dracovish just somehow beats Iris's Dragonite, who's barely taken even a hit. And then Ash's Dragonite, who's taken major damage, comes in and somehow beats Iris's Haxorus, which is like her trump card, the Pokemon that helped her become the champion.
Evolved from the same Gibble that hit Cynthia's Garchomp and did damage.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Paul couldn't fucking do anything against it.
I'm assuming
What is this show?
The assumption has to be that Ash caught this Dragonite like level 100. I know levels don't exist in the anime. People are gonna get up in arms and be like, "JPR, no, you can't equate game strength to the anime." But I'm just assuming this Dragonite is just like cracked, like from the moment that Ash caught it.
What the heck did this Dragonite do off screen before Ash caught it? that made it so
Steroids.
strong.
It was a
Yeah, men had to
Dragonair,
be like-
man. Makes you
It
Men had
wonder.
to be like fully EV trained,
It
backside
somehow,
knees, all that
it somehow
stuff.
got this strong before Ash caught it, but when Ash met it, it didn't know how to fly. And I might save this for later, but the last thing I want to say, and as JPR said, and I know like this is a big problem with journeys, but this episode, it should have been at least 2.
It should have been a 2-parter. I agree.
It should have been at least 2. Like the first build-up episode, Ash gets the invite, then they travel to Unova, and they see maybe like a familiar sight, and Ash is like, "Oh yeah, I saw those Pokemon when I was here before," or something. But I don't know.
And I feel like we say that about a lot of Journeys episodes, but like especially the case for this one.
Yeah.
This is a
Yeah,
big.
I mean, that's
return,
the that's the big symptom of journeys. Everything's self-contained into one episode, aside from what the first Galar parts,
And then the
and then
swoosh
obviously
arc?
the Galar arc, and even then, like the 2-parters for the Galar episodes, like the episode where Ash went and saw Leon versus Raihan, and then the episode after was Sobble. Those aren't like connected really in either way. So those aren't really like 2-parters in my opinion either. They're just 2 episodes that, I don't know, take place one right after the other, but they aren't really like...
They're interconnected episodes.
Yeah, but barely like 2-part, considered 2-parters. Anyway, I think I should let somebody else talk now.
All right, then we'll pass this one on to Tyrone then.
Okay, here we go.
the money shot right
I
here.
don't like the episode.
All right, hold on. Let me mute him real quick. I'm just kidding.
I don't like it. Okay, let me get the positive out the way first. I like the treatment they had with Iris as a character. Not her Pokemon, not her battle strength, her as a character. They retained Iris perfectly. She is exactly how she was in Best Wishes and enhanced. That's what you're supposed to do. When a character comes back, they're enhanced from what they were before, but they still have their overall main character. Prime example, when Iris was pep talking Dragonite. This means that Iris has trained Dragonite more than Ash has trained his own Dragonite. But it shows that she, at her core, is a Dragon Master. This is a far cry from the girl who couldn't even get Escadrille to obey her. This is proper growth for Iris. This is great. I like this. This works. Her talking to Dragonite and helping it calm down so that it can perform and help Ash battle more effectively shows that even if it's an opponent that she's fighting against, Iris cares for Dragon Pokemon. That's awesome. That is an Irish trait. That's perfect. It did way more than what it could have done for Karina when she came back. But granted, Iris was a traveling companion versus Karina, who was a pseudo-traveling companion. So it's very clear that this character has like evolved, if you will, and become a better person. Does that mean she needed to be champion? Absolutely not, but that's what a fucking game looks like, so that's why they had to make her champion. Because in the games, she's a champion because she's a child prodigy. That's supposed to be like what that's representing. She's a champion here because the show was like, oh, the game did that. But like Ion and John both said, she needed to be a gym leader, not a champion. So kudos for them for doing that part. And I like the music that they used during the battle. Now, since they tackled most of what I said already, what I was gonna say already, I'm gonna tackle the battle part. Why? Because I fucking love Pokemon fighting, so shut up. But here's the thing. A lot of people usually say, oh, well, that's just the battle. That's just the battle. Battles to me, ever since I want to say towards the end of Johto and basically Hoenn onwards, have done a good job telling a story. Battles are just as important to an episode as the other shit outside of battles. When you're having a battle, you're telling a story. For example, we'll use the first episode of XY. When Clement used Bunnelby effectively against Ash's Pikachu, he did it because he knows how electric Pokemon work. And the battle clearly shows that he knows how to handle himself when fighting electric Pokemon. So it works out. But when Ash's Pikachu gets caught by the ears and he's able to use Electro Ball, that means that Ash is a fast thinker. He can fast think himself out of situations, and Pikachu has a lot of trust in him. The battle tells you that. There's no dialogue. I mean, Clement does say some shit afterwards, but that's after the fact. The battle in and of itself tells its own little story. It's like watching a dance. It's a choreographed story. So, with that logic being said, this battle fucking sucks. It's horrible. This is the same Dragonite who would willingly take attacks on purpose to prove that it can handle itself against tough opponents. Yet somehow, Ice Fang is a one-hit KO. And I know someone's going to bring up the games. Yeah, it fought Mamoswine and tanked Icy Wind from it multiple times. So I'm not going to use that as a viable excuse. This is the Dragonite that Iris had to work so hard to get together, and it performed the least optimal in battle. This is horrible. And then we got Axew evolving into Haxorus, and I almost debatably want to say that this thing felt weaker than it used to be. Like, it just baffles me how bad this battle is set up, considering that Ash and Iris are traveling companions that have actually battled each other on far more than one occasion. The last time Ash and Iris fought, I believe Ash won because Crocodile beat Dragonite when it was in a rampage. So Iris never got to fight Ash with Dragonite properly. And this is how it performs? Are you fucking serious? This is horrible. This is the worst we've seen Iris be in a battle yet, debatably. Even with her Pokemon not obeying her. It's just, when you're telling a battle, you're telling a story. And if you were to ask me, hey, has Iris gotten stronger in Pokemon battles? I would have to tell you no. This battle performance was fucking pitiful. Yeah, Haxorus did a good job knocking out Dracovish, but that's only because at this point, Dracovish has done his one-hit KO joke. So at this point, it's all over. So it baffles me that, like, the one strategy is, oh, we got to look out for fighting in close combat when you use the one Pokemon that's good at close combat. Dragonite. This isn't just a regular Dragonite. This is a Dragonite that willingly loves to fight up close and personal. He likes the challenge, yet for some reason, in this fight, he fucking sucks. And this is all the development we have for a character who's fought Claire, who's apparently fought Alder, and who's fought Drayden and all these other strong end characters. And then we look at Ash's end of the fight, it feels like they just gave him this win. They gave it to him. I would have been really impressed if Iris had won and Ash goes, oh shit, maybe the title champion isn't just something that you can wear and suddenly it comes with power. I need to get my actual shit together. Iris became champion and she battles like one. Meanwhile, my ass has been relying on my ass has gotten laxed. And I'm letting my Pokemon just sort of do what they want. Dracovish barely knew any moves when I caught it, and I didn't even know its attacks. My Dragonite's so damn happy that it can't focus. Yet somehow I'm a champion, and she's a champion, and she crushed my ass. But we don't get any of that because Ash gets a freebie win, because Journeys doesn't want to tell a goddamn story for once in its life. So it's just sad to see that when you look at this battle and go, yep, this is how Iris progressed, she gets stomped. And like John and Ion said, this is the Karina fight all over again. So when you watch this, you just think to yourself, wow, I'm not even mad at the fight for just being bad. I'm mad at the fight for being bad and being a copy of another fight that was bad. Two characters that got character development, really strong character development, Karina and Iris, got shit stomped in one-off episodes involving 2v2 battles. This is the most disrespect Journeys has had to a character, and it's worse this time because it's Iris. Like, I can't deal with it. But I did like Iris talking to Dragonite, though. That was nice. I really like that. It was a good use of her character. But yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got.
Alrighty, man.
And a lot of people in the chat are actually correcting Tyrone. Thank you for the point.
Oh, about that one bit.
Oh, they think of it as Dragonite's victory, not the true.
No, because technically he used 4 moves, so it's not 1.
The point is, like, it got knocked out super quick. Like the fight, if you time it, the fight is literally less than 30 seconds. It's pitiful.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, then. So let me go and share my opinions on this episode.
Yes.
And then lastly, TSS, we'll pass this one on to you then, all right?
Yes.
Okay,
let's do
so
that.
as I stated before, I'm going to be viewing this from 2 different perspectives. There is the perspective of that as regarding the fan service for the episode, and then there is the episode in itself, the Journeys episode, and what it does to tie in with the events that came prior to it and what's going to come forward. So let's take a second to talk about the fan service aspect of the series, because honestly, this was amazing. I think for her character, in my honest opinion, I think Iris got similar to how I could say for Sun and Moon. This was an epilogue for her story. I view this as an epilogue because I view this as a way of saying this is how far she's gotten and this is what she is intending to do moving forward. I did like, though, that in this episode, they have specifically stated before getting further into the fight that while being a champion was something that she had achieved, it wasn't her main goal this entire time. It was simply trying to become, just like how Satoshi becoming a Pokemon Master, Iris's goal is to become a Dragon Master, one that communicates with the Dragon-type Pokemon. And we got to see a lot of that, especially in the ending part of this episode, with that cute moment, as you mentioned, Tyrone, before, between Iris and Dragonite, which is something I do... I will be addressing just a little bit, but I will say I really did appreciate the nods, the references, the returns, the cameos, the voices, the line delivery in particular. Somebody actually pointed it out to me that when they were actually going to be duking it out with each other, apparently that line was something that was ripped out from BW2. I didn't know that. I don't even know if that's true because I never played the game, so I can't even give it a full-on opinion on that bit. But apparently, one of the lines that she said to Satoshi was something similar to what was said in the games, which I thought was actually pretty cool, if that is to be true. So there are cute little references here and there on that. And to me personally, I really think that they captured Iris's character correctly in this episode, at least when it comes to the dynamic between both her and Satoshi. I really did like seeing the duo come back again, despite not having that third wheel guy, being silent, unfortunately, because Mamoru Miyano's busy impersonating some kind of weird ass sea fish in Zombieland Saga. But yeah, it's a weird thing. So for that though, I will say this episode, as a fan service, as I stated before, I really loved. I loved Iris's return. I loved the way she interacted with the characters. I loved the little nod that they had with the Pokeball and her falling off the tree once again. But most of all, the charm that she had in that fight, I thought was so beautiful. It was so amazingly well animated. Her emotion, the way she was animated, the body language, everything about her character, the way she's hopping back and forth when she said, "Oh my God, Ash, did I surprise you?" And Ash is like, "Yeah, you really did." And you see her just hopping left and right. Like, it's just so adorable. It reminds you of what it was like seeing companions travel with each other like this. And it makes me happy to see that Iris got that. The humor in this episode when it came to seeing Dracovish for the first time, I also thought was really nice. And also making this a full-on dragon battle was also great too. There's even a segment that people kept telling me about regarding the Haxorus that I also thought, when I saw the episode, I thought was cute because when Haxorus did lose that fight, it had a particular pose that is something familiar to what Axu would do whenever it's lying on the ground. And I love that because it just kind of tells me that, yes, even though this big-ass boy is now this humongous ace now within Iris's team, it still has like that charm of the Axu still inside it because, of course, it evolved from that, which is another thing to also bring up. Axu finally got the story conclusion for itself. I'm so happy with that, man. That was something that I think a lot of fans were kind of hoping to see within Best Wishes, to see that Axu actually become the face of Iris's development and see that growth come to be. But instead, we never got that there, and we got it here within this episode of Journeys. And I thought that was great in itself. So I'm very happy that, like I stated before, this felt like an epilogue, a conclusion to the character. If we never see this character again, in my humble opinion, I think they did her wonderful in this episode. In terms of her character, the animation, the dynamic, the Pokemon that's within her team. I really loved seeing all of that. I think it was at its peak with this episode for Iris. And it makes me a little bit hopeful for how future companions or even future characters that are going to be coming out later in the road for fan service content can provide for us. Because I think they understand what fans want from a fan service perspective when it comes to the character itself. Not necessarily the battle, we'll get to that soon, but just in terms of like what the characters are and what they represent. They didn't even have to go this far, but that ending with like her saying best of wishes was something that didn't even need to happen, but they added that little thing there without making it feel so forced and something that was like out of left field. No, that just felt like it was part and natural to the episode. So yeah. Now let me get a little bit into the nitpicky side. This is a very big debacle that was been going on in social media, and honestly, I also was kind of responsible for that too because I kept pushing the shit left and right. But it did trigger me a bit when this episode came out. I am a little disappointed that out of all the occasions in this entire series, I'm a little bummed out Ash never got a chance to kind of at least joke back to Iris about being a champion, because there were two moments in this episode that could have been easily used to have had Ash reference the champion bit. I'm not saying it to make a reference to Alola. I'm just trying to make it to a reference to Ash's growth as a character in a series that's been going on for 20 years now. You want to see this man grow. You want to see his growth be shown to others, especially not just to like random character of the days, but also to his companions of the past. I mean, people keep saying that this was supposed to be Iris's episode. Oh, Iris is supposed to show off and champion status, but I'm like, if Iris can do this, why can't Ash? Why can't Ash do the exact opposite of what Iris is doing? What is different about what Iris is doing that Ash cannot do? And it's not even going to affect the whole episode. It's just a cute little nod to one of his past achievements, something that it is still familiar with or has done things like this similar to in the past, like with Battle Frontier or with the Orange Islands that we talked about a little while ago. This is still part of Ash's character. People even stated like, oh, you know how I beat Karina in the Kalos region when we were fighting the gym battle. Like, he gloated about that. And I thought when Iris called
about how, like, you know, it's not in Ash's character to brag about his victories. And it's like,
what?
Actually, it is,
Yes.
but there's just not an opportunity for it to happen very often, so he doesn't do it.
But this was the one chance, because there was a scene in this episode where
When he
it was
came
like Ash was being called a kid. And then Ash counters back by saying, hey, I'm not a kid, you know, you are. And then Iris is like, well, I'm a champion, so I can't be a kid. Ash could have just countered in that moment by saying, well, guess what? I'm a champion too. You didn't have to bring up the Lola thing. You didn't have to bring up any of that. You could have just said you were a champion too and could have just joked around, and Drayden could have came in and be like, okay, stop it. You know, calm down, you kids. You have a fight, you know, you're going to do, right, for the world champion. Like, that could have just been it. Like, that to the point, you know, and just move on into the next bit. I don't understand why it couldn't have been implemented in this episode. People are saying, it'll be brought up later down the road, but it's like, this would have been the most genuine moment to have brought that up. Because it's not just with any character, it's with a companion, it's with a friend. Why can't he talk about these things with his friends? Why does he have to hide that? Why does he have to hide that from friends? You know what I mean? That's, I think, the odd bit about that segment there.
Even when he didn't win trophies, even when he didn't win trophies, he bragged. After the Indigo League, he goes, hey, I was top 16 in the Pokemon League. He said it millions of times. And Johto. And then when
now people are saying, like, oh, that died off after Battle Frontier and Diamond and Pearl. You know what else died off after Battle Frontier and Diamond and Pearl? Continuity. So, of course, he's not going to talk about it in those series.
Well, like I said, the McLovin, the freaking, you know, that expiration date is when his brain died.
It just hurts me because it makes it feel like his achievement that he accomplished in the previous region is insignificant. That's what hurts me the most. I just hate that it just feels so insignificant. Why can others gloat about their achievements, but not Ash?
Well, because there's no video game iteration of him being champion. That's why.
What does that have to do with the series itself? We always keep talking about how the video games can, and the anime, specifically the anime, can just break tropes that are from the video games.
Which is why I'm mad.
Why can't he break the trope about the champion status? What is the point?
It's this weird thing, because in Sun and Moon, for example, there were not very many anime original characters, and definitely, I'm pretty sure all the main characters were from the games. And even though Pokemon Journeys has characters like anime original, literally Go and Koharu and Cerise, just to name a few, it still feels like that they're going based off the games, even though like one of the protagonists is literally not from the games at all. So I don't know. It's like this weird mix. Journeys is like
someone here in the chat is saying like that was back then years ago, and Ash decided that it's not cool to brag after all. But he literally did it in the Karina episode.
Yeah.
Again, he did it in the same show we are still in right now.
It's because he doesn't have the opportunity to do it because he's not with people that he would want to. Like most of the time, he's around talking to random strangers that he's never seen before. And with Iris especially, this is something they did all the time in Best Wishes, where they would just kind of mix back and forth. It would have been so in character here.
Yeah, it would have been even honestly, just like a line, would have been like a nod to Best Wishes chemistry between these two characters because they were companions for that entire series. So if you want to go the mile to reference things, you go that whole way. You don't just suddenly make it all the way to the very end and just suddenly turn left and not even take the complete, full 100% route. You decide to do something else instead at that end, and it just aggravates me because it's like, you're just there. You're still phenomenal. You're still such a great episode in my eyes. But man, did you miss that mark when that shit was right there open for you. There were 2 moments in this episode that could have easily implemented a little talk between Iris and Ash. And I think it would have been really great. And especially because Drayden was there, he could have just halted that conversation about the champion talk and just got them straight into the battle. So that means no time was wasted at all to talk about the champion bit. And we could move on from that and then probably bring it up at a later point. Especially because given Go now learning about champion Ash, and he's traveling with a champion. There were so many moments here this episode could have benefited from just that one single line. And I think that's what hinders me in terms of like that full-on fan service.
And they wouldn't have even had to it wouldn't have to be like that. They wouldn't have to have dwelled on it for too long. So it wouldn't have changed much about the episode. It would just give us, the fans, something to be happy about, and also it would just fit with their characters.
And I also feel like by not mentioning it, it also it has a negative effect on, again, people were bringing up earlier how it's like Iris is a champion. How is she just gonna lose after this grand revelation, right? It's like, if say this is from the perspective of a kid who has just started watching Pokemon Journeys, they've never watched a series prior to Journeys, right? So they don't know what happened in Alola or anything like that. If they just include that one line, then it's like, oh, it makes sense why Ash would be able to defeat another champion so easily. Because without that reference, in the new kids, they're in the dark. They're like, what the heck? What just happened? How is he able to be a champion like that? What?
Exactly. As far as I'm concerned, Ash himself is a champion in the series, but his Pokemon are not champions.
Again, Dracovish completely untrained.
Let me bring something up too, because obviously I agree with you guys on this point, but I'm gonna bring up a point that TSS brought up a long time ago when I had another one of my Journeys rants. TSS brought up the point that this show technically was meant for a younger audience, right? And you all just brought up that point of, what if a younger audience finds out that Ash is the champion? Well, from a narrative perspective, when starting a story, a lot of writers do what's called the underdog's journey. It's basically when your hero is supposedly a lower rank or class or weaker than others around them. Thus, they have something to be rooted for and allow them to overcome what otherwise would have been an impossible feat to do. Prime examples of this would be like in most anime shonen tournaments, they'd be like, oh, that's the Intercontinental Champion, or oh, he's been champion 5 years running, and then somehow a rookie comes up and beats their ass. They do this so that you can root for the main character. It's very hard to root for Ash if you know that he's the champion. And right. So unfortunately for the newer audience, they have to be in blind ignorance so that Ash can flourish. That's my theory, at least. I agree with you guys that Ash's champion status should be taken into account, but I think it's the writers going, well, if he has this status on him, then not many people are going to be on his back because then the expectations are already set. You know how everybody expected Ash to pretty much dominate the Kalos League because of how good he was? Kind of that.
Yeah. But already, though, here's the thing, though.
The narrative,
yeah, but here's the thing, though. We already know Ash can lose in this series. He literally lost in like the mid-30s after the B.
But it made sense because he was training a Riolu from birth.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. Like that Riolu is not a champion Pokemon. Like it has to be raised. And then once it was raised, it's like, oh, now this Pokemon is actually pretty good. We know Dracovish hasn't been raised. This, literally 2 episodes ago, Ash was like, I've never seen him use a move that isn't Water Gun. It's like, man, it's that type of thing. You know?
And the thing is, I think it's just the inconsistency. Like, I think if that episode, because think about it, if that Dracovish episode came out, say, the week after he got caught, then I think this argument wouldn't be as big. It'd still be pointed out, but at least there would be a bigger gap between that episode and this one. And given Journey's consistency with off-screen land, it would kind of make more sense at that point. But because this episode came out way too many weeks, not too far ago, it's why it makes it hurt more.
If Dracovish had trained off-screen and they showed a montage or something, I'd be like, okay, I'm not happy, but I'll accept it.
Yeah, you at least told me you did something.
If GOU was Ash and Dracovish have been training this new or with their new moves or whatever or something, just like a side remark, like JPR said, I would be pissed, but I would understand at least a little more than I
unfortunately
do now.
Unfortunately, however, this is one of the other reasons why this is a failed formula, because since it doesn't have any manga to go against it, because technically the manga is being written after the anime episodes as opposed to before. Because you look at any other mainstream anime, they have the manga to go through, and they have that is material that's already there and already fleshed out. And the problem is you have to create something from nothing, and that's what's causing this whole inconsistency. And it's always been like that. But realistically now, with new writers at the helm, especially since some have retired since the BW and XY, there is a huge gap there that you have. You have a lot of cooks in the kitchen, and there is lots of inconsistencies that if you had a manga to fall back on for kind of the narrative, then it probably wouldn't be janky.
Or even in Pokemon's case, a video game to reference.
Yeah. The only nods they did are the attire and the poses of the sprites. But that's as far as that kind of goes.
That's the thing. They're trying to mix, our understanding of how things work in the anime with our understanding of how things work in the games. And neither one is really working out for them. Because it's okay, well, yeah, this is an Ice Fang from a Dracovish against the Dragonite. Okay, maybe you could kill. But then you also be like, well, this is an untrained Dracovish. And
And this is a Dragonite that tanked a Mamoswine's attacks and a Beartic's.
So it's I'm always going to value what we know about the anime more than what we know about the games. We cannot assume that logic from the games carries over into the anime in any way, shape, or form.
Yes.
But we can't. We have to cleanse our minds when we watch the show. We have to think what makes sense in the context of the show.
No. We have to make sense to context on what works in Journeys.
Yeah,
because this is Journeys we're talking about here.
Journeys has used anime tactics from other anime. Pikachu's Rock Tomb climb. or Draco Meteor climb, I guess. Ash has used the counter shield in this episode.
Wasn't that Go though that did that Pikachu climb thing though?
Well, yeah, they referenced it.
Yeah, but
Go
that
said
wasn't
it's
really a
something-
reference if Ash never taught Go that thing. He did
said
it
it's
himself.
something Ash would do.
Yeah, he did an Ash stunt, but he didn't do something Ash, he knew as what Ash did before.
And counter shield is in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Suki also brings up a good point. If you want strong continuity between seasons, you're watching the wrong anime. Yeah, and if you also want continuity between episodes, you're watching the wrong anime.
In other words, as Terrell would say, watch Black Clover. Oh wait, that shit's over. Damn.
So, in other words, you're watching the wrong anime.
What are you watching?
People will like theory craft so far to kind of like fill in the gaps for stuff that we just assume is wrong, but it's like I don't think the Pokemon anime is that deeply written. I think it's just what you see is what you get.
Yeah. We got to give TSS some time.
Yeah.
Also, moral of the story: read
Go ahead, TSS.
read Go and Satoshi and Go's adventures. The actual manga adaptation of this. This is better than the anime.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't wait for
first,
the chapter.
Okay, so first we're gonna start with the bad. A few things stuck out like a sore thumb. Number one, some of the musical choices were very bizarre. John pointed out earlier that one was like, got movie 15, movie 17 music, which is kind of weird. But then again, though, you have to remember that everything like pre-2013 is owned by Kadokawa now, and you can't really use pre-2014 is owned by Kadokawa now, so it's like a crapshoot in itself. That they can use Miyazaki's music, but only to a certain point. So that's probably why we didn't get any anime exclusive tracks from BW in this episode. Also, they played Ijipari or Disagreement when Satoshi took out his Dragonite and started hugging Iris. It's like that's not a disagreeable situation. That's kind of flawed. Also, unfortunately, Unfortunately, the battle was predictable and telegraphed. We knew that was going to happen. I think we saw this from a mile away. In terms of the move sets that Iris used, the move sets were fine, but I feel that the execution was again a bit sloppy. Even though the animation was great, and that's a positive point. The biggest problem is the battle itself. The battle moves themselves in terms of the choreography wasn't that great.
Oh yeah.
Wasn't great. Unless aside from a few moments where like they blew off the roof and the Ryuseigun, that was fine. But the strategy and tactics were actually pretty lacking. In that department, I would actually give the Biscuits episode a better thing for that, because the choreography. Yes. However, though, this episode does beat the Biscuits episode, and then we'll go to that in just a moment.
Oh no.
But the other thing I wanted to mention, as for the negatives, while those are basically my two gripes. The pacing was fine. But again, I think the biggest problem here was the fight itself. The fight itself on a surface level was bad, and like I said, the weird choice of music. Also, to counterpoint, Drayden actually interrupted Satoshi while he was getting momentum during that whole thing where he's saying that the champion. I actually went back and looked at the dialogue as well, and it's like, well, Drayden kind of stopped that from going any further. So, all right, so let's get that shit out of the way. That's what's actually keeping it from a perfect 10 for me. So let's go to the positives. Number one, Iris's treatment was absolutely fantastic. I can't say enough that I can definitely say that out of all the returning characters so far, Iris has been treated the best in terms of the narrative and also the flow of what you would call the epilogue here. The flow of the story, the amount of storytelling, which I would think that the anime, especially after the director change, has actually gone through a lot of. You could finally see that they don't waste their time. First of all, the cold open is extremely short. First of all, I did like the fact that Surfetch freaking cut the letter. I did like that.
That was funny.
There was a cool little nod, even though Kamon probably Shinichiro Miki was not in this episode. But they went right away into the fucking opening. They did not waste any time on the cold open. That's a definite positive. Also, Go only catching 2 of the elemental monkeys, and the one missing is Yanapu or Pansage, and maybe that's a door open for Dent later. I'm hoping, because they left the door open.
Big enough for 2 grass monkeys.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, you can see what it is. I did like the iris gag. The iris gag was pretty good. But I would say that the show is improving on their overall episode narrative. It's gotten better in the last 2 months after the directing change. The pacing is a lot better than it was at the end of last year. That's for certain. They didn't waste time management is much better now than it was pre-director change. So I think finally the writers are doing something right, even though a lot of people, even though some of the content in it needs to be tweaked. I think that's one of the biggest things. Also, Ben making an appearance. I think, you know, if you see Ben's Twitter with this whole freaking thing, that was a great thing. Also, they got Mika Kanai back for fucking Imonga. That's fucking amazing. That's fucking great.
For like 3 lines, and it was nice to see them come back.
Yes, we love that shit. That's absolutely fantastic. But also just to see Iris evolve as a character. Just to see the champion, the championship outfit, the obvious not only just the regular flashbacks, but you can see that in her character she has actually evolved, and that's I think that's the most important thing out of this episode. Did she get jobbed? Well, not necessarily. It's not as bad as Karina, because Karina was completely fucking hauled as shit. But I would say though, in terms of the battle itself. And this is the reason why it knocks over the Biscas fight for me, is because this episode, in terms of actual meaning, in terms of the World Championships progression, has more meat. At the beginning, there really wasn't. I mean, in the Biscas fight, it was just okay. Biscas fucking volt tackles the fucking guy with the hypno, and then we could go into that, and it's like, oh, low ranking. So the win there versus the win here, it carried a lot more weight, but it wasn't exactly the battle, the battle choreography that won it over for me. It was the interactions within that battle. Iris talking to Dragon Knight. Iris using pretty good counter moves. I mean, having a pretty damn good counter set for a lot of moves. I mean, you look at the move set. It's a fucking champion move set. It's a great. It's a great point that not many people will hit, because those 2 Pokemon, or Haxorus and a Dragonite, great move sets. And also the smearing, and also the types of animation. Also, this was done without any fucking VFR CG camera, CG animation. This is all 24 FPS. For what it is, it looks great. I mean, especially like the whole thing with like Dragon Dive. And the Yusegun, all that stuff, the Draco Meteor, that shit looked, the in-between movements of the animation for the moves, fantastic. So, that one point when Iris talked to the Dragonite, like that one moment, you can really see the progression of the story from the beginning to the end. The whole, like, I would say, the passion is there. You could see the passionate writing in between those parts. That was done absolutely great, especially at the climax, because you could see that Satoshi's Dragonite was down. It was very weak, and then when Iris spoke to it, and it's like you could see that whole sequence was absolutely fantastically done. And then And then Iris says, "Oh, it's a secret." That's what I said to him. So that in and of itself, we knew that it was telegraphed that Satoshi was going to win. And it's not the ending result. It's what happened. The connection between Iris and her connection with Dragon Pokemon. I think that's what sells the episode. Also with the going back to the pacing, I think since they ended the episode with no time left, there was no fucking time for filler. So the battle progression, the episode progression is great. The battle techniques were shit, but the weight of what happened in the battle itself and the connections, that's what sold the episode for me. So for me, this is the best episode of Journey so far.
And someone says, and
And that's
Maxwell
it.
powers.
Oh yeah, Maxwell powers too. By the way, I don't understand. I don't understand why the fuck TPCI can't do anything with Maxwell powers. Maxwell powers is from California. It's like, and also if you watch more Maxwell powers, is on NHK. Watch Japan talk. So, yeah.
I do
But,
want
I
to
mean,
bring up something
yeah.
you did say though that I kind of wanted to extend it a little bit if it's
Sure,
possible.
absolutely. Go ahead.
Okay, because I agree with you 100%. This is one of the best things about this episode of Journeys. Honestly, probably the best episode of Journeys for me personally. While I do agree the fight was weak, while I do agree that that the Pokemons were kind of shattered on a little bit for certain members, my favorite thing about this episode was the dialogue. The chemistry between Ash and Iris were at their peak in this episode, but most importantly, despite Iris losing, she still won in one aspect of her story that was the most significant thing about her in Best Wishes. Her goal of being a Dragon Master. Her being a champion was never the intention that she was going for. It just happened to be that she had acquired it probably in her journey. Her main goal throughout this entire time has always been about being the Dragon Master. She took time in that fight, knowing full well that if she did something to help that Dragonite, she could have come out on top.
Right.
But she decided to put that on a hold to instead focus on what her real goal was, and that was to help the Dragon Pokemon, specifically Ash's Dragonite, in that segment when she started talking about how Axu was similar in that way back when it was the little one before growing into Haxorus and how it is today. I think that was the most important aspect about this episode and really makes me appreciate that Iris gave that loss to, well, that fight and instead focused more on the dragon because that was what she wanted to achieve this whole time. She did her goal justice, and that's what I was hoping for within this episode. She completed her goal in this episode. Well, not necessarily like 100%, but you get the idea. Like she did everything she could to be the Dragon Master that she wishes to aim to be in this moment there with Ash's Dragonite. And I applaud her for
jumping
that.
off of that, I'm surprised nobody mentioned this as well. But in the actual games, I think in Pokemon Black version, when Drayden is the gym leader, Iris is actually the Draco Meteor tutor in that game.
Yeah,
So
I
thought-
brought that up like a while ago, but it was like just a little nod. It didn't feel like a super significant moment because it was like, I don't know how to take it, So
Yeah, I mean, it's like an extremely subtle thing, but it's like, oh, okay, you can draw the lines there and see, like, that's what they were going for.
Yeah,
It's neat.
because like you see the sprite animation was kind of like mimicked in the anime, and even the dialogue was mimicked from the games into the anime. So I was like, okay, if the Draco Meteor aspect is like that as well, then so be it. I think that's what I appreciated about this episode the most. I loved that the dialogue was the thing that really sold this episode for me. I love the chemistry. I love the lines. I love what the battle was mainly about, and it was always about Iris's journey as a Dragon Master. I think in the end, while she did lose the battle, she did win in getting closer to her goal of becoming a Dragon Master, and for that, I applaud them for that. But I do agree with everybody in regards to the fight itself. It could have been handled way better.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't
and for me,
deny,
it's
man.
not
That
even-
fight with like the dialogue was just so goddamn good. That shit made me negate all of the negativity because
it
I'm
almost
not
made
gonna
me
dude,
go
feel.
that
the
far.
It almost makes me
animation,
feel.
the battle style, I
It
loved
almost
everything. The
makes me
counter
feel.
shield.
It almost makes me feel like the dialogue was first and the battle was second.
Yeah, that was
Yeah,
the
I was
thing.
gonna
The
say
dialogue
because
was the
like
most important bit that they needed to make sure they nailed on before getting to the fight, and they had no idea what to do for the fight because I assume none of them know how to play Pokemon, but they at least nailed the right thing in regards to getting the correct moves for Iris's Pokemon because as TSS stated before, those movesets
Champion.
are champion tier
It's
level
champion-
moveset.
champion
That shit
tier
is
moveset.
great. I love
Yeah.
that. I do applaud them for that. They're at least going that mile to making sure that that shit is nailed correctly. So I give him that. So now I pass this back on to TSS to finish off his thoughts, though.
Well, yeah. Well, with that being said, I just want to say that this is one of the only Journeys episodes that I can watch all day. Like I will never get tired of this because I watched it for the second time today. I could probably watch it about 15 more times because this is the direction. This is really a massive improvement in the last like 2 to 3 months. This is what needed to be the fucking first place.
Yeah.
But of course now because yeah, I know. Yeah. Power all over the fuck you want.
well, no. I'm
That's-
gonna let you continue. There's some counterpoints I have.
All
Yeah.
right, man. But
Go
continue,
ahead.
TSS.
But-
I just want to say, like, I fully agree with TSS and KG on this one. While I do think it is the strongest Journeys episode, I also agree with Zach in the chat. He put it earlier. I think this episode, mainly what did it for me, is that it's the episode that makes the most of the Journeys concept, where it's like,
Yes.
this is the kind of thing that we expected from the beginning.
From the
Yes,
beginning.
there are problems, but those are problems inherent to Journeys that I hope they iron out over time, not so much like inherent to this episode. So I just think it's a serious problem still, but they're
Yes.
getting better, as TSS detailed earlier in his review.
Right, and like I said, it's the problem with the episodic format. But we're in a different, we're in a different series now, unfortunately.
Yeah. So
And like I
I
continue.
was literally about to say, it's like they got the right concept for the wrong format.
Right.
That is
But again, yeah. I mean that's what it is. But again, it's the series wanting to try something different. Now, like I said, every single series has flaws. Every single series has flaws, and I'm the first guy to admit it because I fucking tear this shit
Yeah,
apart.
that's right.
Exactly. So it's like nothing gets a fucking free pass.
I
But
think.
it's just that
I think. And here's my
except
thing.
Hamtaro.
Hamtaro.
Jesus Christ. Well, yeah, Hamtaro has no flaws. But my thing is, so, and I said that at the beginning too. I said, you know what? The one thing that was my positive. My positive is how they handled Iris. She's the exact same character as Best Wishes, but enhanced. That's exactly what you're supposed to do.
Hmm.
Here's where our problems start to arise. Her Pokemon. Well, when you do Pokemon, the trainer and the Pokemon have a large role in development. And
Funny episode gap, Zach.
And I feel like Iris's Pokemon, their treatment was fucking awful in this episode. Awful. Dragonite has had a whole arc to get his shit together. We were about to see where that goes. We're about to see a new Dragonite. Like, oh shit, this is awesome. No, fuck. Oh shit, Axew finally evolved into Haxorus. We get to see all of that come to well, fuck, shit. Damn, it lost to a Dragonite that just got its shit together. No. And got his ass whooped in the fight. Ash's Dragonite got kicked so badly by Iris's Dragonite, I didn't think it was going to live against Haxorus. There's no physical way it could have. But it won because fuck it. I don't care enough for Ash's Dragonite for it to win. I like that it got a nice little cute moment with Iris that made it stronger, but I kind of wish that it had still lost. Like, oh, it learned Draco Meteor. Awesome. But it's not quite there yet. And how? Because the Dragon Master herself is like, you're doing great. You just need to focus. I like the idea. The idea is bomb as hell. Have Iris talk to Dragonite deep within and like bring out its true potential. But Iris has been doing this shit longer. Unfortunately, what I know about Best Wishes prevents me from accepting this outcome. Because this outcome would imply that Ash has enough development with his Pokemon. And we've already established he doesn't. We've already established that Iris does. Think about it like this. This is Axew's first on-screen debut doing what it finally wanted. And what does it get? Stomped.
Well, actually, to be honest, countering the outrage confusion was fucking fantastic.
That leads to a whole nother thing of problems.
But it's like it's not. No, it didn't exactly get curb stomped though. It actually was a pretty good fight.
Yeah, it's like, oh, Pokemon hit themselves by confusions. So how do you counter hitting yourself with confusion? Hit yourself. What?
Yeah, because
I can understand both sides because I do think that Haxorus doing the thing to stop being confused was pretty good, and I don't think that it necessarily got curb stomped, even if I might have said that it got like destroyed or something earlier in this podcast. I don't think it got like destroyed, right?
No,
but I do think like the whole time it had the upper hand, and then Dragonite uses Draco Meteor and it loses. So I don't like that's one thing. That's one thing I don't like.
If you look at the fight, there's no part of Haxorus that should have lost that fight. No part. None. But it lost because the show needs Ash to be at rank 99.
Well, and Dragonite's just overpowered.
Yeah.
At least but Iris had one too.
Well, I mean, Ash is very clearly like on a level that is untouched.
Iris has had whole arcs to get to that level.
We understand. I would be hard pressed to find somebody that doesn't agree that Iris's Dragonite should be stronger than Ash's. But we're saying Ash's Dragonite is just ungodly powerful, and there's no explanation for it. It's broken. Just that's why Dragonite exists, just to be cool and
making that as an excuse
and be powerful.
And making that as an excuse is terrible for story writing. You can't.
Yes, I recognize that. JPR recognizes that, and I assume the majority of people recognize that.
Oh, yeah, it's good that we recognize it. I'm not gonna excuse it. I'm not going to sit there and go, oh, you can have a pass because Ash's Dragonite is just unexplainably OP. Fuck that. I'm not doing it. Y'all can do it. I'm not.
If anything, at least, I'm reading Zach's comment. If anything, at least Dragonite's writing is consistent. So at least they're committing to the fact that it's broken. I mean, yeah, I guess that's nice.
So don't worry.
I feel like there are certain Pokemon
there's no award for being consistently bad.
Well, I feel like across the entire history of the Pokemon anime, you can pick out a few examples of Pokemon that are always comically overpowered. Lucario is one of my favorite examples. Dragonite is definitely another one of those. I mean, this goes all the way back to the Orange League, where it's like he used 19 moves in one battle or something crazy like that. So I understand in a way how it's like they just want them to be like, hey, this is Dragonite. He's a big deal. He's going to be overpowered regardless of how much or how little training he gets because he's just a Dragonite, and that's the way it is. So,
yeah.
It's convenience.
Well, for sure it's convenience. It's definitely convenience because it allows you to write out of these things, but it's like Ash should lose, but he's not going to.
Now, with all that being said, though,
it's like,
I was going to say...
Let's talk about the preview.
Oh, no, I was going to talk about the preview, because screw that preview. I'm just saying, man, that Flababy... listen, man, I'm calling predictions right now. That Flababy is going to find AZ's flower, and it's going to evolve into AZ Floette, and Go is going to have that Pokemon, and it'll never be seen ever again in the series. That's my assumption for that.
I'll be pissed.
And also,
I'm pissed anytime a Journey's episode comes out. So
I'm just saying, man, it'll happen. Just trust me.
I don't know if you guys talked about this earlier, but I think TSS is coming back.
Yes, we're going to talk about that.
We can talk about that for 2 seconds because show is coming back, motherfuckers. If you don't think it is, then wow. Because the thing is, though, you look at the damn hair crease. It's exactly the fucking same.
Wait, I can't believe that character is
I am
returning.
I am very glad that Lucario is not being used anymore. Hate that Pokemon. Glad he's gone.
John, we've known that. We've known that for a while.
Just clarifying, just in case anyone else needed to know, I'm glad Lucario is no longer battling. I hope he doesn't come back.
I don't know. Did you write to them or something? Because I feel like they panicked.
JPR feels
Little did
towards
you guys know that when the directors changed, it was me writing Lucario out of the series.
JPR feels towards Ash's Lucario how I feel towards his Dragonite.
Mr. Ash, I don't feel so good.
I wish Dragonite would never come back.
I said this a long time ago. Like
They should Heracross Dragonite.
most of the Pokemon that are on Ash's team, I feel like don't even belong on his team. Like they're not the Ash fit.
I guess
Dragonite, Gengar,
Lucario, and Dragonite.
I think Ash's whole team, except Surfetch'd and to maybe even an extent Lucario, don't belong on his team.
Yeah.
So that's just me.
I guess.
In fact, I think Lucario does. I think Lucario and Surfetch'd are the only two that I would keep if I was remaking his team.
If we're comparing like Lucario to Dragonite, I think the only reason Ashes isn't overpowered is because we saw him raise it from an egg. So like we know it's still like a new Lucario, but like every other Lucario in the history of the anime, Cameron's Lucario, oh my god, yeah, they're all broken. They're all broken.
Except Karina's that lost.
Except for Karina's, which inexplicably lost, but again, it was to Dragonite.
No. Let me fix that.
Yeah,
Karina,
yeah.
In X and Y, Karina's Lucario was OP. Then Journeys happened.
Mm-hmm.
And it got hit with a dose of fucking.
It got hit with a dose of Dragonite.
It's like prior to that. I mean, prior to Journeys, it's
Yeah,
like Lucario's that one Pokemon that's like even in the Maylene gym battle, they couldn't let that MF lose. He had to tie.
Bro, listen. The Pokemon Journeys machine almost crashed whenever they had to decide who would win, Lucario, Mega Lucario, or Dragonite.
Like, oh god, it's an overload.
But nah,
Kukui wasn't broken, that's true. But that's just because Kukui was also underdeveloped and Ash had like legendary Pokemon or Ultra Beast or some shit on his team, so I don't know.
So I guess everybody can unanimously agree XY is still getting shattered on, sadly.
Yes.
In Journeys.
Yep. And I still rub my hands.
Oh my god.
Why I'm glad to be an AG stan nowadays.
I'm glad listen, man. I'm glad
You ain't
BW
real.
fans got fed today.
You ain't real.
Yeah, of course.
Excuse me.
Hey, I am the OG AG fan.
Okay,
Yeah, he's
I
OG.
can agree with that.
He's the father of AG stands, man.
I'm just kind of
That's
like
how
the
it is.
AG stan. I'm the newborn AG stan.
You just recently got into it, man.
Hey, I mean, AG was my favorite as a kid. I just liked XY when I was going through teenage
Yeah, you were going
years.
through that phase, man. I know everybody went through that.
Advanced
XY phase, but now
Generation
we
is the
all-
reason why I'm here today.
Oh god.
Yeah, but regardless, though, I think at the end of the day, most of us can at least come to the conclusion that while this episode managed to not necessarily deliver on the battle aspect, I think from a fan service perspective, I think they nailed it in the park for this one. Now, the question regarding whether or not this character will indeed come back. Oh my goodness, this character's never coming back again. Shit, man. KJ,
you just brought up the biggest point that why I don't like this episode. This is maybe the last time we're gonna see her. This is how she ends.
Okay. I'm gonna say I think she'll be back for the Masters 8, but she'll be on the other side of the bracket, so we don't have a second
losers bracket.
Yeah. Like I'm sorry, that's like one of the things, and even if she does like hopefully come back, then it falls into that same Journeys cup that we've been filling up. The shit's overflowing. Holy shit. It's the wait till next time.
I know. The cup is overflowing, but I think Iris is one of the few things that might stick.
Yeah, it's like that wait to
we still have the door for Dent, so it's fine. I think that's gonna happen.
It's falling in the cup of wait till next time, which this cup is fucking full. Like we gotta
Iris loses to Leon. I can see that actually.
Nah, you know what
Yeah.
Iris is? Iris is that little floaty toy that's just on top, so while everything's still overflowing, it's still managing to keep itself in place in the middle. Because it's like almost a guarantee she's coming back at this point. Maybe.
Also somebody said Suba in the chat, and I know what it's reference to.
Yeah. Also, Professor Silver has, speaking of Suba, Professor Silver has done an entire review of Ash's Swallow, so you can see all of its glory.
0 out of 10, no Suba at the beginning.
Well, he's not doing the chapter.
Professor Silver, you had one job. you had one job, man. God damn.
I don't see your review on Swallow.
No, we did do that. Did you forget the rankings?
I wanted to do that because I wanted to do that.
No, don't worry. When he does a part 2 on it, he'll make sure to do it then. I hope.
I'll give him the clip for that.
Yeah. So okay. First of all, we need to figure out what to do with this predictions now because Terrell never showed up.
Boo.
So I'm gonna assume, judging from the review. Actually, you know what I'll do? I have a perfect idea. This is probably one of my worst ideas ever.
So
While I'm on the telephone.
Let me try.
Can you say that he doesn't like it? Because I put all my coins into him not liking it.
I got you guys. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
I'm gonna call the fucking phone.
All right.
And like I would like the double coins.
I'm looking forward for Subha's return.
Listen, man, the way
listen, anything.
Little Suba and Big Suba.
Hey, wait,
I need it. We need it.
Wait, is Suba going to be in that one episode that comes out in a couple weeks?
I don't know. Maybe they. I mean, if they do it right, maybe we'll see.
Guys, I think he's
another thing I wanted to bitch about in this podcast is how that episode, the whole Infernape, Gary, all of Ash's Pokemon episode is sandwiched between 2 lame filler episodes.
We don't talk about that.
Also, like, what do we know anything? Like, is that episode going to introduce Project Mew?
It's supposed to be a prologue to it.
Prologue.
Supposedly.
Okay.
Like, the episode is titled like Journey to Mew Goes Stream or something.
I'm kind of like this episode of Journeys is the first one I've watched since this Iris episode. It's the first one I've watched since the one where Farfetch'd evolved into Surfetch'd.
Oh yeah. By the way, I had to binge 4 episodes to catch up for this week. I just want to say it. The Absol episode was hot trash. What was that? What was that doo-doo? That was a terrible episode. That might be the worst episode of the entire series.
Yeah,
that was
John,
really
you
bad.
say it because when I say it, I'm problematic. You say it. Fuck.
But it's okay. I'm not a hater because
it was bad.
So
that entire review, even TSS stated that episode was trash.
Yeah, see, as I mentioned last week, it was good. It was good until the fucking climax, and then it went to shit.
Yeah.
We're gonna break a rock and everything's over now. What the hell's going on?
It's like what I say for X and Y all the time. The shit could be good at the beginning and in the middle, but if you fuck up that ending, boy, everything just pretty much fumbles down and just
don't feel bad, John. At one point, I had to fucking binge watch 8 Sun and Moon episodes to fucking catch up.
Oh lordy! I think if I binge watched any amount of Pokemon episodes in a row from any series, I would lose my mind. So yeah.
Oh yeah, that would suck. Is Zach still in the chat?
especially when I had to deal with the fucking cocaine for 8 episodes.
Is Zach still in the chat? Yeah, he probably hates binge watching Pokemon too.
For sure. But yeah, I can't wait for that Shigeru episode. That's gonna be really something. And also when we get the Lizardosha or the Charizard shit, that's gonna be some good shit too.
GPR has always been a hater, bro. We're literally coming off like my 2 previous favorite series, X, Y, and Sun and Moon. So no.
Listen, man, you're hating Journeys, therefore you hate all the series, man. Because it's
I
supposed
don't
to be
even hate
around
all
the
of
world.
Journeys. Like there are some Journeys episodes I really like. So
Dude, you hate one episode, you hate all of them, man. That's just how it is.
There's actually some episodes I like too. Like I'm actually surprised no one ever brings up when I said I gave the Kakuna episode a 10 out of 10.
There was a Kakuna episode.
Wait, what was the Kakuna episode?
Oh, not Kakuna. What's the blue-haired girl?
No.
Kakuna.
Kikuna.
Oh, I haven't seen that one
I was
either.
about to say, when the hell did Weedle, and friggin' Kakuna get?
Let me see which of the recent.
Was it the Psyduck episode?
I like the Psyduck episode. I like the Psyduck episode.
Oh no, that was great, man. I loved it.
Let's see.
That was pretty good. That was pretty alright.
Yeah, I love that.
Oh yes. Okay, so the last episode I watched was the Farfetch'd evolving to Surfetch'd one, but the last episode I watched before that was the Wickstrom one. So I haven't seen the Love is a Psyduck, the 2-parter one with the turtles, the Grookey episode, and then I haven't seen the Plus Minen, the Drizzile episode, or the one with the Marine Athletics, or the Absol episode. So I'm pretty. I haven't seen like 10 episodes.
Oh, hold on. I got Terrell's opinion right here, guys, from this audio clip he totally sent me just now. Totally.
What?
Look, that's that.
Please say no. Please say no. Please say no. Please say no. Please say no.
You know he's gonna say yes.
Representation of Iris. I knew they were gonna give the win to Ash.
But hey, all
It still made my girl come out looking like the winner. I don't even give a fuck, bro. Like it's so. I'm so mad it's that good.
And there you go. You got your answer, everybody. That's the audio clip for all of you guys. So, with that being said,
hear the
to
audio
those... Well, actually, that's because I muted you all. It was a desktop audio, that's why. It can't be played.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, those who thought that Terrell enjoyed this week's episode, he said it was good. Congratulations.
Fuck.
So there you go. Congratulations
No, wait,
to everybody. Your prediction points have been given now.
So I lost my 400 points.
Of Dogecoins, yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Terrell was gonna hate the Best Wishes episode.
Yeah, apparently
I don't know.
98%.
Terrell made the statement if they fucked up this episode, he was gonna quit Journeys.
I've been on the PokePod like twice, and I think one of those times Terrell was here, and he complained about whatever episode it was. I don't remember. Which
Oh
one.
yeah,
Well, yeah.
It was that episode we went for an extra hour for.
I kind of just assumed that he doesn't like Pokemon Journeys episodes.
Terrell
bad.
hates the series more than I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. All right,
And
then,
Tyro.
everybody. What do you guys say? We go and wrap things up then for tonight, because I think we're already about to hit that 12:30 o'clock mark, man.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yeah. So the whole plug the shit thing.
Yes, let's take this opportunity right now to go and give a little thank you to, first of all, our buddies here, JPR and Ionic Bond. JPR, if you want to shout out anything that you're going to be doing for this week and let people know, then now would be the
I'm
best
gonna
time.
be straight chilling this week. That's what I'm gonna be doing. If you
All
want
right,
to see me chill, I'll be on Twitter, I guess.
Yeah, which should be in the
Yeah.
description down below, so make sure to go and follow him there.
Chilling to lo-fi music for 8 hours. Straight.
lo-fi hip hop beats to study, relax
just
to.
send
Oh
him
wait,
hot
no.
wings again.
JPR is gonna be. Wait, JPR, did you already graduate?
Oh, I graduate on Saturday, but
JPR is gonna be graduating.
I'm actually done already, so don't tell anybody.
There we
Everybody in
go.
the chat, give him a clap in the chat. Let him know you got it.
Oh, give him a clap, not the clap.
Just
clap.
a singular clap.
Behind me, I feel so good now.
Good job, buddy. Congratulations.
Now it's time for you to go to grad school.
No.
all right,
hilarious.
but all right. What about you, Ion? Do you have anything you'd love to let people know where they could find you at?
You can find me on twitter.com/ionicbond or youtube.com/ionicbond, but I can tell you on youtube.com/ionicbond, I probably won't be uploading for the next little bit.
So make sure to follow him on twitter.com then.
So
and
just hang out with me on Twitter. I like to complain.
All right,
That
so we got
sounds
two
weird
people who are just
not
chilling and
know.
vibing over here. Tyrone.
All right.
All right, then. Tyrone TG3 or Tyrone the God 3. Either one works on all social medias, Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch. KG and I will be doing more Mario Party 2 Torture. Yay, we'll be doing that. And then KG will be playing Pokemon Black 2 during the second half of that night. And then on Wednesday, we're going to continue our very chill journey through the Lentil region. Pokemon Snap, and then after that, Throwdown Thursdays, we're more than likely going to be doing, I haven't really decided yet, but until I can decide, we're just probably going to be doing some Series 9 battles for Sword and Shield. And then finally maybe on Saturday, but definitely on Sunday, we're going to be doing Persona 5 Royal. So we got that going on Twitch.
Never see it coming.
Yep.
All right.
All right.
What about you, TSS?
TSS_killer on Twitch and TSS killer without the underscore on Twitter. Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern Daylight, 5 hours of Tales of Symphonia, because I couldn't do it last week. Also, there will be no bonus stream on Saturday. And then the following week, I will not have any streams because I'll be down in Tampa. So, but I will be on the PokePod that following Monday as well. But the 21st and the 22nd, there will be no streams from me.
All right, man. As for me, you'll know that on Friday nights at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be always doing our reactions to Pokemon Journeys as well. So if you guys want to see my reactions to every episode of the series, make sure to follow me here. I'm actually starting to upload the reactions onto YouTube now. The countdown begins on that channel's deletion in just starting last week, I guess. So we'll see how long those those reactions stay up on the channel. I'm kind of surprised because I see every other uploader who does upload reactions to YouTube, they have all the episodes like faded out, no audio. Meanwhile, my reaction has the full-on audio and video up in front. So I'm kind of concerned on that, but at the same time, I just want people to enjoy the reactions if they can't catch it live. So, yeah. So we'll see how things go for that. Anything else on top of my head? Yeah, well, there'll be reactions on that. But tomorrow, though, at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you can tune in here once again on this channel to be shown another exciting segment of the Pokemon Black 2, White 2 first playthrough of the game here as we continue on in the world of Unova yet again. So once again, it's a first playthrough for me. I have no idea what the hell I'm going to get myself into, but I did catch a lot of Pokemon.
Episode rating.
Yes. I give it a I for Iris because she got that in my heart, man. She was so goddamn cute. Yeah, you cannot.
Hey, I don't want to spoil Black 2 White 2 for you, but Iris is the champion.
Oh,
Okay, number ratings.
I'll give this an 8.5.
I'll give it a 9.
I've said it before, but Journeys, like there's no Journeys episode better than like a 7 for me. So this is probably like a 6.
All right, Tara.
I'll give Iris as a character for the Best Wishes epilogue part of it a 9. I'll give like the entire episode a 6.
I agree with Tyrone.
So I retreat
9.8
to like a 7 then.
So the treatment of Iris gets a 9. The episode gets a 6.
9.8 for me. It deserves it.
All right, man. And there you go, ladies and gents. Those are our opinions as a whole. So once again, everybody, if you guys enjoyed, please make sure to follow us here to be notified whenever we do more of the pod here on Monday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to thank everybody here in this call once again for tuning in for tonight's session. How are things going to play out in next week's episode? We'll have to wait and see, just like
Thank you for the 100. Oh, thank you for the 100 viewers as well.
we had 100
Indeed. We hit that triple digit in this one once again, and I really do thank everybody for helping us get that far. And I hope you guys continue to join us every week for more silly shenanigans like this. So if you guys enjoy, make sure to keep on coming through. We always love and love seeing your support, man. So yeah, I'm gonna go call it a night. We're almost also about to hit that big triple digit for ourselves, actually hitting the PokePod World Podcast 100 episodes soon too. So there's a lot to be looking forward to in these coming weeks, I'm gonna say for certain. So yeah, with that, I'm gonna call it a night. Thank you everybody for tuning in, and we'll talk with all of you guys later in whatever video we make. Take care, everyone, and as always, please make sure to have yourselves an awesome day. And TSS, what is the golden rule?
Wash your fucking hands.
Wash your fucking hands, y'all.
Yeah, man, 92 sessions in, and y'all can't seem to understand that, man.
Even when the
Wash-
Backstreet
wash-
Boys is over.
That's why you have to buy the giant fucking 28-ounce bottle of fucking Purell, which you can get at Target for like $7.
Wash your hands and don't be racist. Good night.
Whoa.
Good
That's
night.
racist.
That's why. All right, good night, everybody. Drink the soap. if
Good
you have
night,
to.
everybody. Good night.
Oh,
Wait a minute.